Hello and welcome back to Call of the Netherdeep, here on Dork Tales. I hope you're all doing well tonight. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly. I use he and him as my pronouns, and I am very excited to be on episode 32 of this module.
10 more.
I think... Was that?
10 more.
No, we don't have time.
I know.
You literally have a bun in the oven, and I don't want the oven to burn anything, okay? I don't think that's the way it works, but like... I don't have to, so like, yeah, no, we're on a clock. We gotta go. Thankfully, there's gonna be a clock that's showing up in the middle of this game. It's gonna be great. So, hey folks, welcome to Call of the Netherdeep. We are gonna do a bit of a roundtable. Hello right now, and then a couple of announcements, and then we're going to start the game. But before we do the roundtable, I just wanted to say real quick that Call of the Netherdeep is getting into a place where there is going to be a lot of high emotion, and is going to deal with issues of depression, maybe technically self-harm, anxiety, and general bad feelings. If this is something that you're sensitive to, hopefully you are going to be able to continue watching. But if you can't, take a break. We'll be here when you get back, and as much as we'll miss you, we're always going to be here. You can always catch it on YouTube later if it's getting a little too real. Mental health is important. Take care of your own. And with that, let's go around and do a quick round of intros, starting with Robin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, as does our lovely Goliath barbarian, Kaeko Skaar. And yes, I sound a little off still. For those that haven't seen me for a week, I caught COVID last week, and I tested positive at the end of Dragonlance. So if that's why I was very, very pale and dead looking, that game. So I fought COVID all weekend, and I'm testing negative, but I still have a little bit of residual voice and cough. So I don't think I'm going to attempt Kaeko's accent today, just because I don't want to strain my voice too much. But I am here, I have energy, and I'm excited to play some D&D, because damn it, COVID couldn't even stop me before.
That's true. We even recorded a podcast yesterday.
Yeah, we did, because I was taking one more day off work yesterday. So
which Patreon is going to be getting tomorrow.
Ooh.
All right. Well, welcome back. Over to Christa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christa. I use she, they, or her, them pronouns, and I play Sabina Moorden, our Lotusden Halfling Beastmaster Ranger and Warlock, Hexblade Warlock of Coralon, rival to a rival, and some other random names that I'm sure she's picked up along the way, and her beast companion, the Moorbounder Dax.
Nice. All right, down to Chris.
Hello, Chris here. I use he, him, or they pronouns, and excited to be here, getting close to the end of the Netherdeep. I said 42 because of the Douglas Adams reference, but I guess...
If we make it 5 more episodes, then with the how-tos and episode zeros, we should be at 42 or 43.
Ooh, okay.
So those do count. They're just not part of the episode chronology.
Gotcha. So secretly 42. Awesome. I play Dorlen Wildrock, the hyper not focused gnome artificer who finally has his healing prick that other people can use now. Other people can use his healing prick.
There's so much wrong with that statement. We'll just leave it there.
We don't need to get into that fan fiction trope.
We don't. All right, and over to Caitlan.
Hello, I'm Caitlan. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Xarria Rainn, the tiefling cleric of the Raven Queen of the group.
Nice. All right. Over to Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Zenada Vosh, our orc fighter of the Echo Knight Persuasion, or you could just call her a Cuisinart.
Buddy system.
Yeah, I went through like 15 different names for that slide. I was like, Julian Fries, Cuisinart, Magic Bullet. People might mistake Magic Bullet.
When it comes down to it, she's her own self-perpetuating buddy system.
It's true. You're your own best friend.
Dorlen's redundant.
And Oh
little
God,
bit.
I just realized that, that like in the Kryn Empire, you can be your own grandpa.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, can you picture a drow singing that song? This song is quite unusual, and this is how it goes.
Oh dear.
No, nobody knows. All right. So folks, we're going to be starting game in just a minute. But before that, I just want to do a couple of quick announcements. I wanted to thank everybody for getting us to 130 patrons and over on patreon.com/dorktales, 130. And a lot of people upgrading to the Prince of the Patreon tier. We have 13 of those guys now, thanks to Sorcerer Sanguine today. And
Nice.
so I've had to officially rename it the Council, the High Council, because we got too many princes. There shouldn't be a war. So it has to be a council at this point. You're still all princes in my heart.
Patreon war.
Patreon war. I don't want it.
No.
I just want everybody to be happy. But I'm very excited for that. I'm also excited that this Sunday we are not only doing Spelljammer during the day for everybody, but starting at 6 p.m. We are going to be doing a episode 0 for Mage the Ascension Technocracy Zero Sum. Just for the Patreon, so be sure to go check that out. We're going to have the episode up shared. And then Monday we have on Patreon as well, Christa is running another episode of the guest star games for Strixhaven, and I'm in the middle of writing it now. I can share the title if you want. It's
It's gonna be so good.
It's an episode called Every Trick in the Book, and it is Otheon's finished the maps, so the maps are all set up. I have imported all the tokens. I am having to rewrite all the monster stats, and I've told Christine about some of the monster stats and one of the monster special attacks at the end, and it's the dumbest thing in the world, and you're gonna love it. Like, you're just gonna giggle the whole time.
We're still using the encounter table at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There's so many encounters on that I want to check out and play with because they're so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, if you guys haven't watched the first episode, if you are, it is up for patrons. You should definitely go check it out. That entire cast was an absolute hoot. So go check them out. The next cast is going to be just as good. And I'm very, very excited to see what they do with it.
It's gonna be fantastic. Krista, read the chat. There's the thing I was mentioning.
Oh, I know. I was trying to keep it together because, oh my God, it's so good.
It's so dumb.
We're going to have a centaur druid who teaches remedial arcanobotany, and we have a troll coach who I'm not quite sure if he's teaching a summer intensive or if he's just doing summer camp, like a sports day camp for kids.
You know what he's doing though? He's going oi oi oi.
He best be. Absolutely.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, we have some really incredible characters, some really incredible players, so definitely come watch.
Gonna be fantastic. And then other stuff that you should know is that we have 2 new tiers up for or 2 new goals up for the Patreon. So if you want more content from us, we have at 150 patrons, Bunny Hearted, our dear old Millie, is going to run a once a month Star Trek Adventures game, which is going to be pretty fantastic. I'm very excited for that, and I might paint myself blue if I can figure out a way. Because Andorians don't have beards, and that's my problem. I want to be an Andorian, but they don't have beards, and I don't want to shave for just a once-a-month game. Although I'd grow it back by the next month, and then I'd have to shave it again to be pink. And then at the $200 tier, at the 200 Patreon goal, at the 200 patrons is a game of Avatar, like The Last Airbender Legends, that I'm going to run, and I know that a bunch of people are queued up that want to be in that. Like, pretty much everybody in this game, plus Bryn, wants to be in that. Because
My cabbages!
My cabbages!
Cabbages.
I just
Can I be
I
a
just want
cabbage
to have-
bender?
You can be cabbage bender.
Right? Yeah. I can't wait to hear you describe the animals.
Oh, they have a list. They better have a table. There's a generator
You can make
online.
your own too, right? Like,
Yep.
There's a generator. I'll just use the
turtle
generator.
ducks.
So if you're not on the
cute.
Patreon, you should definitely hop on, even on the dollar tier. Just get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Actually, these are incredible numbers. I had to revise the Patreon list last night, and it took me 2 hours of cross-referencing names and being like, is that person? That's not their name they go by, but that's what they want on the thing. And then because because there's so many, 130 people, man. It's great.
You're gonna have to get a second slide soon.
I have done so much work making that fit. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. It looks very, very crammed, so you're gonna have to expand soon.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the last fun thing that I have to tell you is that we are having a special episode of something this Friday and next Friday. So folks, if you would like to join us, there's a bunch of talk about Pathfinder and what Pathfinder 2nd Edition is. I'm a fan of Pathfinder 1st Edition, as is Christa and Chris is, and like most of Christine's a big fan of Pathfinder 1st Edition as well, and Caitlin's played it a bunch. I don't know if you're a big fan, but you like it enough. So we are going to take a look at Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We're going to do a character build this Friday, and the next Friday we're going to run through a session of Agents of Edgewater, where we basically are cops in the city of Edgewater, or town guards. Oi, oi, oi! And we're kind of basing it off Brooklyn Nine-Nine from the sound of it. And I think I've shottied Peralta. It's I'm either going to be Peralta or Holt.
Nice.
I told you, Holt has to be the DM. Why are you not having fun? I specifically requested it.
That does sound
I was
way.
speaking with Travis of the Onyx Path and Plastic Age Plays, and he said that he wasn't a big fan of Pathfinder. He loves their initiative system. It's the best system that there is in any game, but or the action economy. He likes the action economy.
Yeah, okay.
But they described it as, if you really enjoy long division, you will really like Pathfinder. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of taking a pre-calc class just for fun. So then he was like, you will love Pathfinder.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
Travis
that's probably why I like
Travis
Pathfinder.
is a great person
That's
to
fun.
work with.
Yes.
So yeah,
Well,
so
you can
if you
understand why he likes the story path system.
Right?
There's not as many numbers.
There's not as many numbers, although it's still it's a little jumbly at times. But yeah, join us for that. It's Friday night at 7 p.m. this week, and Friday night at 7 p.m. next week. And it's going to go on YouTube 24 hours later, so you can check it out. If you have any questions about Pathfinder, please let us know. And then the last thing is that if you have any questions about Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, drop it in the Discord or on the posts about that over on YouTube if you're watching there, because tomorrow night on Wednesday we are going to be discussing how to run the preludes in chapter 1, or chapter 3 technically. The book's laid out much differently than most Wizards books, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But that's enough about that. We need to head into Call of the Netherdeep. Y'all ready?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right, then, folks, strap in. It's time for Call of the Netherdeep here on Dork. Last time on Call of the Netherdeep, you continued delving in to the strange domain that is the Netherdeep. As you worked your way through, you transitioned from a place of deep, biting regret to one of rage. The water around you in heat, boiling. Cacophonous waves and shards of ruidium jutted from walls. You made your way through, saying goodbye to your rivals who went to the east while you went to the west. You did a bit of investigation, coming across a room where you fought a light devourer and then separated from them. Separated them from their life, I suppose. Found a secret room thanks to Dorlen being thrown through it, and took a bit of a short rest inside of there. And that is where we're going to be hopping back into game right now. The small chamber that you find yourself in is no larger than one of those pedestal rooms. Here, it's about a 15-foot high ceiling, a sandy floor, covered with tarnished gold coins that you're spending time scooping into your bag of holding. Among the coins, you found 2 items, a ceremonial dagger made of jade and a stoppered vial, which Dorlen was able to determine contained not only a delicious bubbling purple liquid, but one that was able to cast a simultaneous spell of healing and heroism. Definitely something worth. You took a brief rest. Now what do you do?
Is there anything? It's just a small room, right?
It's just a small room with a hingeable door that.
That's what door that went through. The hingeable door.
Yep.
Okay.
Which direction were we? We were trying to go south, right? Because we were trying to avoid the anglerfish, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then we got swooped up in the tide.
Now outside, the water still is swirling and raging.
Gotcha.
Are you going to? How long are you going to wait inside of this room, scooping up and recovering?
I guess however long that takes / a short rest, like half an hour, maybe. I guess, depending on how long you think it would take to get those gold coins.
About a half hour seems good. If anybody wants to roll their hit points to regenerate some of those, anybody wants to spend any hit dice?
I think I will.
Kaeko will roll a hit die. 5.
Okay.
Oh, ha! Kaeko is going to, while we're waiting here, Kaeko, since she doesn't have her axe with her, she's just going to start humming and singing, and she's going to play a song of rest while we're waiting.
Nice.
Perfect.
So anyone who uses hit die gets to roll an additional d8 on top of it.
Nice.
But you have to
Sounds
spend
good.
a hit die to do it, so
Yes.
minimum 1. But yes, and anyone who's partaking
Nice.
can roll that.
Nice. Good news.
So yeah, if the swirliness hasn't stopped by the time we've done that, are we wanting to brave the swirling water of death?
Well, why don't we tie... So, Zenada and I are the biggest and, like, probably the most athletic of everyone, minus Dax. Why don't we all tie all of us together with a rope? Zenada could have one end and I have the other, and try and anchor the 3 of you in the middle.
Okay. Sure.
Sounds good.
That works for me, though. If I'm not bashing into any more walls, we might not find any cool places like this again. Just want to see it.
All right, then, Dorlen, we'll tie you to the end of a rope and just tie and hold on to it so that you can flail around.
Oh, I should probably not be concussed for this. You have a good plan.
Perhaps I could lay out some dense seaweed along the floor for better grip.
That's a good idea.
I will. How big is this room again? Let me look at the
About 15 feet.
map.
It's got about 15 foot ceiling. So it's yeah, it's about 30 square feet. It's shaped kind of like a
it looks
croissant.
like 35-ish from where we are.
Are you talking about the room with the swirling vortex?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's about 60 feet by about 30 feet.
Okay, so the from the door that we come through to, we want to go to the far south path, correct?
Yes, the southeast path.
Awesome. Yeah, so I can I would like to cast Entangle. I don't know if it will actually help at all, but with the concept of I'm gonna put down some rough terrain so that even though we're walking slow, maybe it will give a better grip.
Okay. That's an interesting way to do that. I like that. So as you cast that, the vines are going to begin to rise up from the floor, and you'll see that they're kind of being buffeted by the water, which is still swirling with a massive vortex in the center of the room, angry and heated. But the vines hold. The magic anchors them. And you think that you'll have no problem making your way to them if you can just swim a few feet.
And who's going first between the two of you?
I'm happy going first, unless you really want to, Zenada.
Go for it.
Okay. Then let be guided then, and I'm gonna boop with a guidance.
Oh,
Sounds good.
You have to add a D4.
Nice.
As you do that, as you put your hand down on what, nose, forehead, where do you boop?
On the nose.
As you boop on the nose, all of you are going to feel a familiar kind of echo through you, and suddenly a vision crosses your mind.
Oh.
A soldier crouches over a dead commander in a plaza filled with the bodies of people. The weight of responsibility settles uncomfortably on her. Harbinger! She spits at Elixion. Warbringer! Omen! We sheltered you! Vision recedes.
Oh my.
Well, that was just as unsettling as normal.
What do we know about this Netherdeep? Did it exist before Elixion was imprisoned?
I mean, wasn't this whole area not under... Well, you said we've entered into a different plane.
I wonder
Maybe?
if this is all just... I wonder if we're just in his head.
I'm beginning to think you're probably right.
Like if this plane is just like a manifestation, or maybe we're inside his head actually.
Ew, like a giant brain?
Well, his mental state extended into Kilmoro, yeah, Kilmoro, and infected that beast. So it's possible that it's infected this plane as well. Perhaps it wasn't originally, but it is now. If it was meant to be his prison, it makes sense.
Oh yes, they did. Yeah, he was imprisoned, so I guess he could have been imprisoned in this. They made a plane for him. He was imprisoned. He got powerful enough to start seeping through to Kilmoro.
I mean, to be honest, what's the best prison for, I think, anyone who's gone through stuff like this would be their own head.
Yeah,
All that
having
doubt.
to relive everything
All those
thousands of times.
And just think
twisting the
deeper and deeper.
memories, making them worse and worse.
I mean, I do that all the time in my own head, and I've only lived the life that I
And
have.
hundreds of years of that.
Yeah, that would drive a person insane.
And no buddy system.
Yeah.
Nobody's at all.
All right.
Insight roll.
Yes.
Oh, I need dice.
That's kind of helpful.
These ones.
Oh,
Classic,
that's the
classic.
That's the best response.
Oh, that was great. I can't read these. They're gorgeous, but I can't read them very well. I'm like, oh, what is that?
Natural 1 for Kaeko.
Ooh, I am good at this. That will be a
3.
3. Okay, so Kaeko, you are absolutely inside of Elixion's brain, and maybe you're just a dream of Elixion. Like, maybe you didn't exist before the Netherdeep, and you were just entirely created inside of this. Maybe that's why you're so bodacious. He's been lonely for a real long time, and he just pictured the biggest, curviest lady. And this is what you're going to be thinking. Like, this is mind blow.
Just like existential crisis just goes on Keiko's face.
What did you get, Sabina and Xarria?
11.
11?
28.
Okay, Sabina, you're not going to quite clue into this, but Xarria, you are going to immediately recognize that every time you've had one of those visions in the past, for the most part, they have always been when usually tied to something rather important. But most recently, they have been tied to the acquisition of those moats. regardless of whether or not you or the rivals got one.
Oh, true.
So you're going to kind of intuit that maybe they're making some progress.
Hmm. I think the race is still on. Let's go help Elixir.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, we're in his. Wait, guys, we're figments of his imagination. We're not even real.
Oh, I don't believe anyone could imagine me.
I don't believe it either.
We're in his brain. What are we? I was made up. Bodhi was made up. I was given a life.
Zenada's gonna pinch Kaeko hard. There you go, you're real.
Yeah.
Sabina's just like quietly wrapping a rope around her middle, just like reaching up, and just like tying it on.
Perfect.
And just kind of going around and tying everybody else.
Yep.
Let's chat more splat. Let's go.
All right. Yes, we're on a race. Right. Yes. Cake will step out into the swirling vortex of doom.
Okay. All right, stepping out into the swirling vortex. As you do, I need you to make me a strength. Give me a strength saving throw as you try to move across the room.
Okay.
Does the seaweed help?
You may make the roll with advantage.
Ah, seaweed to the rescue.
We'll see.
That is good because I rolled a 5 for one of them.
That
So 19 plus 5 is 24.
Okay. All right, so you are going to be able to swim to the other side of the room, hitting the lower, the lower passageway into the southeast. Now, like I said before, there are technically 4 passages out of the room, including the one that you are. But you swim along the southern wall, pushing past the secret door that you pushed through before, that is since shut. To the south, but you recognize roughly where it is. You push past it, and as you do, you are on the other wall. Now, not just that, though, you also have the benefit that you are dragging others with you. So, between your help using the tow line and the kelp on the floor, the sea kelp, you're... Sorry, it's a dumb joke. But what this means is everybody needs to make me a strength save with advantage following Kaeko.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Double 4s, so 6.
Okay, so what is your marching order?
I think I'd actually be by Zenada, buddy system and all.
I was going to be at the back.
Okay.
So one of the other strong ones anchoring, and I got 27 on my
Okay,
strength
so
save.
who is going after Kaeko? Is it Sabina?
For height-wise and distribution, I think it would be best to do
Then
it that way.
put Xarria in the middle. Okay, so going down the list. So Kaeko, you made it through without a problem. Sabina, what'd you get?
Sabina got a 14, and Dax, who I'm gonna guess is like fully at the back, attached to Zenada, with a 16.
Okay. Xarria, you got a what?
18.
All right. So heading behind Dorlen, you are going to get buffeted around pretty hard. Now, even though you're on the tow line, what's going to happen is you're going to be kind of like whipped out into the floor and then slammed back against the wall. You are going to suffer some damage from the ruidium spines on the wall. You're going to suffer 5 points of piercing damage as you slam into the wall again, and I need you to make me a charisma save, my friend.
Okay, I'm retiring this die. That'll be a 10.
Okay, you're going to gain a level of exhaustion, and let's increase that corruption count by 1.
Oh no.
You are at corruption 3 now.
Not
so
the most
as you-
corrupted anymore.
It's true. Smashing into the wall, there is going to be a a strange pain as the ruidium breaks away from the wall and begins to kind of dig and burrow under your flesh. You are going to suffer a level of exhaustion, and in addition to that, the ruidium is going to begin to kind of fester a bit in your flesh. The next time you look down at it, you are going to see the following. The skin where it is touching, probably around any exposed flesh that you have, like your face, kind of probably like along your ear and the side of your jaw, is going to be crimson and blistering. Boils are going to start erupting down your throat that are going to weep kind of a pinkish pus.
Ooh.
All right, so
we have to breathe that in the water. Yum.
Yeah, it's mostly just a weeping sore. Like, it is just absolutely awful. So, as the rest of you are going along, Zenada, you got like a 29 or something?
27.
Perfect. Yeah, you make it across without any problem at all. And before long, you all are going to press into the next chamber, dragging a rather bloody Dorlen behind you. As you make it into the next room, though, what you are going to see is going to be a bit surprising. Bracing for the worst as you swim into the next room, you're expecting that you're probably down for another encounter, another hide and seek away from whatever creature is awaiting you there. But when you reach it, what you're instead going to see is that this cavernous space expands and contracts like the lung of a living, breathing creature. Natural fissures in the floor belch out columns of steam and bubbles, and the water here is warm. Red lights also emanate from these vents, illuminating the chamber and the mouths of the tunnels that lead away from it. What you're also going to see, just looking around, is that at the far end of the cavern, you can see the remains of a battle. A monstrous fish with a red-streaked body that you are going to recognize as one of those slithering bloodfin things, like the one that took Irvin's arm, and a swarm of those little angry fish, like the sad fish that Dorlen fought. They're all dead,
Death tuna.
floating in. What'd you say?
Death tuna.
Death tuna.
Those things are bad.
They are all dead.
Do you think the rivals did this? What they're not called the rivals. Yeah, I'm still a little brain foggy.
And as you are looking into the water, you're going to see that the vents in the floor are like flaring with this bright red light. Ooh. The room is very hot, actually.
Do you think they did it?
I think they did. Maybe we should go the other way then.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible. We could use the stone to find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who is the stone? Kaeko had it, but then passed it off to someone, and then I don't know who has it from there.
And then someone took it back because Kaeko went. Yeah, Kaeko went with Io, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it was Sabina. I thought that was your
seems
idea.
like a Sabina move.
I guess so, because I was the only one that stayed back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Or did someone else stay back?
I think
too?
I stayed.
Did you? It was you or Zenada, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, been too long. Let's say Sabina has it for argument's sake.
Sounds good.
She'll pull it out, and I don't think Sabina's ever used it before, and kind of hold it out in the middle of everybody.
Can you roll me
Press the button.
percentiles?
Sure. It would help if I... Oh, look at that. I even have a set right there. Nice.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So 69.
Okay, so it's going to like sound... You're kind of distracted as you kind of are tuning it in, kind of like beep beep. All you're going to hear is the sound of like the undulating chamber, and as all of you are inside of this room, you're starting to get warmer and warmer, seeing the bubbles erupting out of these fissures. You are going to as you are waiting for this, I'd like you all to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, that's much better.
Oh, that's not great.
26.
I'm gonna use my determination.
Sounds good.
Make that a 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my determination to make that a
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
All right, and Sabina.
Hang on, I'm mathing. Dax has a 23.
Okay, Dax is fine.
I'm gonna use
Well.
my determination to make it a 13.
13. Okay, that is going to not be good. So as you're floating in the room, the vents on the floor are going to suddenly flare even brighter than they are right now, including the ones that lead under your feet. Everyone who is in the room at all is going to do me a favor and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. That's going to be, on a fail, 19 points of fire damage. And on a success, that is going to be 10 points of fire damage. Or pardon me, 9 points of fire damage. And if you are a tiefling, that is going to be 4 points of fire damage.
Oh, kind of toasty. Sorry, what's a success?
A success is, pardon me, that's a great question. So everyone but Sabina.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad I spent my determination.
I'm glad you did too. You can just feel suddenly the vents will erupt behind you, and you can see the passageway behind you. The tunnel is full of this boiling water.
Behind
It's
us?
supposed to be also cooked.
Yes.
All right, forward. Kaiko's gonna start swimming forward then, if the passage behind us is looking worse.
Absolutely.
Right
So,
on.
so you have swim speed of 30, which means if you do a full move, you will be able to make it into the next tunnel.
Yep.
Let's go.
Swim,
Okay.
swim, swim.
All right. So swimming forward, you make it into the next tunnel. And if everybody is swimming there, Sabina, you are going to get reception right as you pass into the next tunnel way. Hello? Hello,
Maggie?
is this thing on?
Maggie, it's Sabina.
Oh, hi, Sabina.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Well, it's all of us. Are all of you there?
Yeah. We're here. We're,
Did you guys have a battle with one of those fin creatures that got Irvin's arm earlier? Were you guys in a really hot area?
And the death
sad
tuna.
fish?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it got really hot, so we swam, and then we went through a room with a really big whirlpool.
Okay. Did you go north in the whirlpool?
Yeah, we went north.
That way.
Okay, we've
Oh,
crossed paths. We just were in the whirlpool room and...
Oh, this place is weird. I gotta go. Uh-oh.
Is everything okay?
You're going to hear the sound of, like, a
Stay safe.
bubbling scream come over there.
Oh.
Ah,
That has a lot of tentacles. I'll call you back.
Good luck.
yes.
Oh. Should we maybe go check on?
I mean, it sounds like they just were in the same room that we were, that we missed them. I don't think we
Okay.
would be catching up to them.
And I don't know if going through boiling water would help. Or if these doors even go the same place.
Yeah.
True.
Let's just keep going forward.
The tunnel that you're in goes for quite a ways. For about 150 feet, you find yourself wandering and walking through these strange, kind of like undulating tunnels, like walking through a stone-crusted intestine. Continue forward, though, and soon you are going to find yourself in a huge chamber. Now, inside of this chamber, you are going to see that floating 20 feet above the floor in the middle of this chamber, and rotating slowly on a slightly tilted vertical axis, It's a ruidium sphere, pockmarked with a crater-like indentation. 2 giant sharks, their mouths closed, crusted with ruidium, much like their skin, once swum around it in opposite directions, but you can see that they since have been, well, they've been killed very dramatically by the other party. However, as you are in this room, you are going to see that the ruidium moon in the center of the room has dozens bloodshot eyes opened along its frame.
Are they all the same color?
They are all kind of a milky, pale, kind of jaundiced yellow. And as you enter the room, I need you to do me a favor. Everyone here needs to make me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh no.
My favorite.
I'm with my friends. Yes, I'm with my friends.
You also still have guidance, I think.
That'll be a Dork Tales
Yeah.
Okay.
for an 18.
Oh, nice.
18?
Really? Amazing.
You are fine.
14.
Natural 20 for an 18.
26.
3, 4.
26.
4.
Okay.
What?
I rolled
That's a
3.
7
Okay.
for Sabina,
And
I don't think I passed for deck. Con is 2 plus 6 plus 9 is 15.
15. Okay. So Dax will actually be okay. Zenada, what did you get?
14.
14. Okay. So here's the deal. See, Kaeko, you told me first. Kaeko.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and perfect. Kaeko, in your mind, a voice that sounds like Elixian says, "Those you love must die for your grace." While within 30 feet of you, as long as this curse remains, your allies have disadvantage on saving throws.
Oh no, and I am compelled to be near them with my thing.
That is beautiful.
Sabina. In your mind, a voice that sounds like Elixian says, "Embrace the malice that swirls deep within your heart, does within mine." You can no longer take the help action, nor can you use a spell, magic item, or class feature to restore hit points or grant temporary hit points to another creature while this curse is in effect.
Ooh.
Okay, 2 clarifications.
Yes.
Can Dax still give the help action?
Dax was not affected by this.
Fantastic. And secondly, if I cast my little pond and someone else happens to walk in it,
No,
does that
you
count?
cannot cast a spell that heals anybody.
But it heals another person. I can heal myself. So if I cast the pool, use a healing charge, and it sits there for someone to
It will not
walk
affect
through.
anyone but you.
Okay, that's
Nice.
perfect. Just wanted to
I mean,
make sure.
that's
But Dax
actually
can.
really bad.
I'll give you a Dax, but I'm not giving you that.
Okay. That's fair. Hey, you know what? I got to weasel what I can weasel.
I know, you got a weasel. And Zenada, in your mind, a voice that sounds like Elixian says, "Victories will bring ruin. It's mine have done." While within 30 feet of you, allies have disadvantage on their attack rolls.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck. Does that count for her echo too?
I feel like you're Oprah just
yes,
handing
'cause
out
the echo is her.
disadvantage to everyone.
Okay.
You get a disadvantage, and you get a disadvantage.
Oh my god. So I have the saving throws and then you have the attacks. Great. We're just a good team.
And I'm exhausted, so I'm rolling disadvantage on everything now.
Well, and of course, we don't know this,
Yep. This is
Either.
beautiful. I love it.
so we have to act like we normally would.
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
gets disadvantage.
You get disadvantage. You get disadvantage.
Exactly.
I mean, and I want like
Oh,
Kaeko
God.
wants to be. I have the compulsive friend one. Like I want to be near my allies to not be frightened.
Wow.
Oh boy.
It's beautiful.
Oh my god, this is rough.
And the other party did not get away with very well either. Just so you know.
From here?
From this, no. They
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So looking at this room, you can see that there is a chamber immediately to the left that like the one that you swam through. It is open into a small ivory chamber, or one of those ivory podium chambers. And in the middle of the chamber is a half-buried stone statue of Elixion tilted back at a slight angle. Bits of it have been broken off, and tendrils of ruidium rise from the damaged areas. A dull... that's it. That's all you'll see, actually. Because... pretty sure... Moment. Yes, so that is all you will see, because I realized that Xarria would have taken the other thing.
That's fair.
So as of here, there is only one passageway that you can see, and it leads directly to the north on the other side of this moon. But once the moon looks at you and you feel Ruidus's baleful gaze land on you, that's it. Doesn't appear like anything else occurs.
I'm gonna
they must
go
have been
towards
here.
the moon.
Okay.
And just kind of swim up there and just kind of look at it for a little bit and look at one of the eyes, and you know what, it's Dorlen, so I'm gonna poke one of the eyes and just see what happens.
Are we still tied together?
Yes.
All right.
Maybe
I
not.
guess Zenada's up there with Dorlen then.
He's gonna try and then get stuck on the rope.
Yeah.
As you poke it, you are going to feel a strange shiver through you. That's going to just be kind of like this internal revulsion.
Ooh. Yeah, let's
Why are you poking it, Dorlen?
I think
Why
that's
are
the
you
first
touching
thing that I
things,
really
Dorlen?
just don't ever want to poke again. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
And just
Swim up.
look back at it and just be like, ugh. Come on, Zenada. Buddy system.
All right.
Oh, do we still need to be tied together though?
Oh.
Do we still want to be tied together?
Nah.
All right.
Dorlen will untie himself.
Does Dorlen have much of
Sabina
a
will wrap
swim
up the
speed?
30.
You all
Alright.
have a swim speed right now.
No, I'm asking how much because Zenada has double that.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna grab Dorlen and like sling him towards her back and then go swimming.
Wee.
All right. She's just gonna go up to the entrance, like where this space kind of ends a bit, and see what's next. Try to be careful about it.
Inch into the next room, you will see that it is a pit, devoid of the thermal vents that you become accustomed to. The floor is strewn, however, with humanoid skeletons, clad in rusty armor, as well as the bones of other creatures. Tendrils of ruidium weave along and through the battlefield like ivy. In the center of the room, a shining spear stands upright, its shaft emerging from a pile of bones, rusting weapons.
Oh, that looks ominous.
That looks
We should go in
very
there.
ominous.
Oh, there's
Anybody
nowhere else to go.
who wants to can make me a history roll.
I'll try my best.
Yeah. I'll try that.
Skill checks aren't a
16.
disadvantage yet,
Oh,
right?
yes.
No,
for me,
they are for
Hold on.
Dorlen because of his exhaustion.
Oh no.
16.
16.
Okay,
Nope,
Dork.
I still real shit.
Getting retired tonight. That's a 3.
Okay. Anybody who rolls higher than a 15 is going to be able to recognize that looks like it is Elixion's spear. From any art you've seen of him, any visions you've seen of him. The one that he used to fight his battles. The ones that he used to face Grumpsh.
No wonder why he isn't doing so well. He doesn't have his spear to fight off his own inner demons. We should take that and give it back to him.
You want to go grab the spear that's in a bunch of pile of bones, Dorlen.
Looks
They're
cursed.
just bones.
Yeah, but they probably were attached to living people who then perished near the spear.
There's been a lot of memories of dead things here. You know what?
We haven't been sucked into a vision yet, so I'm guessing it's real.
Before you run off and get yourself killed, I would like to try something on you, Dorlen, if that's okay. Because you look rather pustulous. I've been meaning to try this, and I just wonder if it's going to work. And she's gonna like slap some like diamond dust from her pocket onto, she's got a glove on, kind of onto your pustully neck area. And I wanted to try a greater restoration on you.
Okay, greater restoration. You feel the power of the Raven Queen flow through. Even in this place so far removed away from the real world, it flows out through you. And as you cast that, you may, I believe, greater restoration, what is its alleviation of exhaustion?
Just the level by 1.
Okay. Dorlen,
Or
your level
ending some effects on the target, but I was going to do that one.
Okay. Dorlen, you'll lose a level of exhaustion. However, the ruidium contamination remains. It is beyond the scope of your power.
Ooh. Thank you.
Good to know.
It's a little tingly in a good way. Now I can go get myself killed.
Well, I really hope you don't, but
Well, I haven't yet.
this is true.
Unless anybody else thinks. I mean, I think we
is
gotta
there
go this
any-
way anyway.
Yeah, so let's get into the...
Kaeko, did you use the guidance yet?
How long does it last?
Oh,
Because I've rolled like dog on all of my rolls, so I haven't even added guidance
That's
because it's not been of use to me. So if it's like a minute, it's probably gone.
it's only a cantrip, so it's probably a minute.
Yeah, so it's probably
Up
gone.
to a minute, yeah.
Yeah, no. Keiko rolled like dog on her roll, so I didn't even bother adding guidance. 'Cause
4 was fine.
I don't think it's gonna help a 4. Oh.
That's fair. I'm going to boop you with guidance then, Dorlen.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Come on, Zenada. Let's go.
I will slowly swim behind Dorlen.
As you
Kind of
swim through
making
the-
maybe a little bit of space, though.
As you swim through the room, you're going to pass rows and rows of skeletons, those who died during the calamity. You'll see the bones of humans, giants, mastodons, and moorbounders littering the ground. Dax, as he looks in, will kind of make a bit of a meek noise as he kind of swims by a couple of skeletonized moorbounders.
Ominous.
The spear at the center of the room. The spear at the center of the room shows no signs of rust, decay, or ruidium corruption. It is unlike any other thing that you found in both this chamber and the rest of the Netherdeep.
I will get very close to it, and then I will stop for a moment, look back at the rest of them. And then reach for it and grab it. You had your chance.
Yep.
As you do, a low growl reverberates through the cavern. As the sound fades, a soft, melodic voice says, "You shouldn't have done that." The voice comes from a translucent, pale blue figure of a child who appears to have materialized out of nowhere. Floating next to him is the slender sculpture of a man carved out of ruidium, bearing a solemn expression. "I am Theo," says the ghostly boy. He points to the ruidium golem. "This is Elixium, the hunter. It has come to destroy you, but it won't do anything as long as you're with me. We must go now. You want to save the Apotheon and end his nightmare?"
Well, that's why we're here.
"I will travel with you then. For a time."
What are
But the
you
second
doing
you
here?
leave us, he's gonna try and kill us.
"He will hunt you.
Right?
Forever."
I see. And his name you said was?
Elixium the hunter.
Hmm.
Like the name of the Apotheon.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to someone can dispel this golem?
I imagine you could use the spear or your axe. Sword.
Kaeko's gonna try cast dispel magic.
Your spell lashes out, bounces off of the target.
Can I?
Well,
Still holding on to the spear, can I like swim up to the golem and just start looking around it and investigating it and just seeing what I can tell?
Sure. You absolutely can. It's a medium-sized creature, made of pure ruidium.
Was it always like this? Like, did it start out as a person maybe and then got like what's happening here on my face, or weird?
No. Believe it just arose one day.
Huh. I'm gonna poke it.
You may do so. It is absolutely solid to the touch. It is a pure, beautiful statue carved out of ruidium.
Oh wow.
Because of the green screen, but you get the idea.
Yeah. I really need to get into golems. I could probably make a few things like this.
are they not powered by magic? Why didn't that work?
Oh,
Ghost boy? Theo?
Because power feeds your...
And what about you, Theo? Why are you here?
I'm just here to
Not that I'm
watch.
complaining.
I don't have to guide you. I
No,
thought
no,
that
no,
the
no.
others would come in here, but they went a different path.
Hmm.
Well,
So they
we were
didn't-
just curious how you ended up down here. Not many
Yeah.
things sentient seem down here.
Always been here.
Were you here before the Apotheon?
No. Here before.
I knew it were in his head.
Hmm.
We're in his brain.
I think all will be
Confirmed.
revealed if you keep... Anyone
So-
who is interacting with Theo as you're looking at him, he is the spitting image of the childhood visions of Alexian. And Dorlen, as you are holding the spear, you are going to feel a tremor as you lock eyes with this young boy, and everyone here is going to have another vision. A guttural roar cleaves the throat of the young warrior as he cleaves through foes in front of him. His rapid breathing makes allied soldiers around him skittish. Moment of malice. Hisses to another. Get on his bad side. You say as you look at the golem, or you feel as you golem in front. And then
right. The spear. I'm gonna take a closer look at the spear now that I remembered I have it in my hand.
Cool. It is a flawlessly crafted spear of antiquity with ancient basically perfectly counterweighted at the bottom so that it can be used with maximum force. It's going to have the properties of do you want to attune to it, I guess is the question.
I feel like that's a trick question. But yes.
Okay. So taking a few minutes to attune to it. I will send you its stats. So it is a long spear, like a normal spear. So it will do its usual thing in terms of damage. All right.
Oh, it's a spear of anxiety.
Would you like to?
You seem to know your way around here. We're used to trusting random strangers, so let's follow the ghost boy. Theo, was it?
I feel like it's our best option right now, Dorlen.
Theo Nathope.
Sorry, Theo what?
Theo Nathope. Anyone here can make me an intelligence check.
Yeah. That sounds like a good maneuver.
Oh.
That'll be a 15.
16.
I rolled
17.
a natural fucking 20.
Okay, I'm gonna give this to Kaeko.
Nice.
Kaeko, I would like you to direct your eyes at the chat right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying.
Hey, you're gonna see just Kaeko, like,
Oh my
ask him how to spell it. She's gonna like ask Dorlen to show her the letters, and then you're just gonna see her like write in the sand and rearrange it, and she's gonna go, the Apotheon.
Oh.
You sneaky little bugger.
So we're in the Alexian's head with a iridium golem that is Alexian the hunter, and with a child that's the Apotheon.
With visions that all think that we're him as well.
Yes. It's all confusing.
It's like
It's all connected.
it's like an Alexian inside of an Alexian. Inside of an Alexian?
Dorlen pulls out a rolling corkboard from somewhere with
Yeah.
raised arms all over it.
Yeet.
Yeah, just pulls it down.
From screen. Just wait.
Pointing at it with the spear.
Yeah, exactly. God,
I
need
feel
to
like if
make one of
anyone
those
would break the
right
fourth
here.
wall.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind following you, Theo. That sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Did you meet? You say you didn't meet the others yet, have you?
I heard them. They met with that unfortunate, well, the thing to the south.
Yes, the poor unfortunate orb.
They were unfortunate. They woke the Red Room. They woke the Red
Ooh.
Moon. And who would be foolish enough to cast a spell or touch something? So... Please.
Right.
He will begin floating off to the south, heading back through that chamber.
No
Follow
idea.
him?
Let's follow.
Okay. Following him to the south, you are going to head back into the room, and as you swim through it,
Yeah, no. Meanwhile, Kaeko's just like asking him. He's like, "So you're the Apotheon, but Theo. So you're the younger version of him. So you talk about the older version of yourself, memory in the third person because he doesn't feel like you yet, right?"
I'm just Theo.
Oh my god, I've read this play. I've read this play. This is his childlike innocence.
Maybe.
Or his hope.
That sounds interesting. That's a wonderful philosophical quandary. Does that mean that the Apotheon is devoid of hope because I am presently with you, if that is the case? Does it mean that I was lost throughout his life of suffering, or does it mean that there is a shining beacon strong enough that it can create an apparition such as myself?
That one. Let's
I feel
go with
like
that
all
one.
of his
That would be helpful.
strong emotions have been scattered. That's what it feels like.
And if we are inside of Elixion, you haven't really left him, right?
Exactly.
I imagine you will find him eventually.
I hope you find him.
Perhaps.
Seems awfully smart for childlike innocence. I don't know about that one.
He floats into the tunnel that you swam through to reach here. The one that was all the way from the room with the boiling vents.
It's boiling in there. I don't know if we want to go back that way.
We don't have to
Theo.
go all the way. You should go here. He gestures to the wall next to where he is standing, along just the beginning of the mouth of the corridor almost.
We
Here.
can't go through walls.
Of course you can.
Golden can.
I don't can.
Dorlen
yes.
has.
Try.
Throw me at the wall, Zenada.
Just full platform 9 3/4.
Oh my goodness.
No, I think it's gonna be like the discus sort of thing, like, right?
Just
Or
full hammer throw. Yeah.
Just grab him by the feet and throw him through the water.
Ham gnome throwing.
Nice. You're going to do that? Okay. Flying through
Yeah.
the wall.
So,
Dorlen, you're...
so Zenada's the gnome flinger now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone takes turns.
Dorlen, you're going to impact the wall. It's going to be like... And then it's going to... And going to kind of hinge inward, revealing that it's actually a door.
Oh.
Good job, team.
So we just have to
Good job,
constantly
Dorlen.
go along, touching all the walls to find secret doors. Is what
Yes.
the motto's here.
So, yes.
Apparently. I can
All right.
find Dorlen house walls if you really want.
But you'd have to get it like
Good job.
perfect.
We'll get
Yes.
to try.
True.
We-
But I
we-
think it's better if he's not concussed. I think we already figured
Yes.
that out, didn't we?
Fair.
Brain damage is not necessarily the greatest thing.
No.
Kaeko will make her way through the door.
But I got a weird idea now for like some sort of variation on a catapult. Could be a fun method of transportation. Let's go.
As you step into this room, thermal vents in the floor heat and illuminate this 30-foot high oblong cavern. It's the first decent light you've seen in a while. The glowing eye was not nearly as luminous as this. Here, the rudium-veined walls expand and contract, regular pulses, like the beating of a heart. A ruidium archway on the far wall leads to a darker chamber. As you As you enter this room, Theo will look around, say, Lixian suffering made him callous, selfish. But I know he can be reminded of his goodness. A human-sounding howl echoes through the grotto. Darkness engulfs the cavern, swallowing you in an inky embrace, flooding your mind with visions of Ank'Harel, of Wildmount, of a godlike wrath that ravages the world till only corpses and smoking ruins remain. The visions abate, and you are back where you started. This is what awaits you in the heart of despair, says the ghostly. Well, kind of.
Cheery.
It's not real.
With that, the child beckons you to follow him. Chamber.
You said there was something kind of in the middle that was pulsating?
The entire room is pulsating.
The entire room. Okay, my bad.
It's basically you're inside of one chamber of a heart, basically.
Oh.
In the center of the room, there is an archway that leads to a second chamber.
Neat.
The ghost child solemnly beckons you forward. Who's the first one to go through?
Dorlen is slowly heading to... Okay, perfect. Dorlen's there with you.
Zenada will go through.
So Zenada, you're going first? Sounds good.
Sure.
As you step through, there is going to be a pulse. As you step through, you all receive another vision. The warrior, now an adult, kneels before an altar in a ruined temple of Avandra the Changebringer. He whispers in reverence. His hand, scarred and shaking, grips the hilt of his sword. It's the daring, he says with determination. Changebringer doesn't bless a cow. Yep. This room is a pit, devoid of thermal vents, and the water here is cold and dark. A few tendrils of ruidium cling to the walls around the archway, but within the darkness you can see a small, pale white light hovering 6 feet above the ground in a crevice to the north. It's one of those moats.
Ooh.
Well, one of you 3 Kaeko gestures to Zenada, Sabina, and Xarria.
Well, I guess I'm first into the room, so...
You go up and accept the moat.
Sure.
Touching it. Feel absorb through your bridge with. As it does, a vision flashes through your. The warrior holds his hands up to the sky beneath the sheltering silvery glow of the moon Katha, and a drop of moonlight falls into his cupped hand. It turns into a swirl of colors, then takes the form of a small, golden egg. Warrior, awestruck, whispers a prayer as he presses the jewel of 3 prayers to his chest. Zenada, as it absorbs into you, you are going to gain the Fragment of Melancholy. Your benefit: whenever you fail a wisdom or charisma saving throw, you can re-roll it with advantage, potentially turning it into a success. Once you use this benefit, you must finish a long rest before you use it again.
Okay.
Your drawback: if you use this benefit and it doesn't turn it into a success, you are incapacitated until the end of your next turn as you are overcome with despair.
Ouch.
Oh.
Can you send me that wording in the chat?
Of course.
Awesome, thanks.
I will do it in just a moment. As you touch it, there is going to be a hideous, horrible shriek as the sandy floor in the middle of the grotto gives way to 3 huge lobster-like creatures that rise from the water, rise from the sand, shriek, and attack. I'd like an initiative roll.
Initiative's not part of saving throws or attack, so it's not a disadvantage.
If you have a disadvantage on ability checks because of exhaustion, you do have disadvantage on initiative checks, though.
Yes, I am good for that, though. I did not roll well today. My dice are not happy with me today.
All right. As you brace yourselves for these creatures that rush out from the sand, Theo is going to let out a shriek and cower in the corner like a child. These creatures lunge at you.
Buddy.
And I think that's where we're actually going to take a quick break.
Oh.
Folks, we'll be back in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the part of the program where we talk to the chat. We're going to be hopping into combat in just a sec, but I wanted to talk to you all about a couple things. Number one is those of you who are looking at the module and who might be running this. We'll talk about it afterwards, but I do want to say in advance, remind me that when we're doing the how to run this, I've been remixing this a bit just to like make... I really wanted them to go meet Theo because he's the exposition dump. Like, it's important that the characters meet him. But the way the rivals segmented up, they would have got him. And I'm like, well, the rivals might have gone backwards, and you guys rested in a chamber. And so if you're going to have the rivals show up, you got to make sure to keep track of their corruption. So during the break, I was literally on a dice roller rolling like 30 d20s at a time to see whether or not, like, Irvin botched on anything. Irvin didn't botch on a single d20 out of 30 d20s. That doesn't make any sense because the Google Dice Roller always botches for me.
It's the power of love.
It's the power of love.
Like this game, my dice have not rolled, except for the one at 20. I don't think my dice have rolled above a 6 this whole game right so far. Tonight,
Nice.
they're just crap. Also, I have
sorry.
a bit of a headache, so you'll notice Kaeko is a bit more brunette than she usually is.
So folks, just because like Robin's still recovering from COVID, we're actually getting to a place where we can probably do a good stop on this for tonight. So after this fight, we got a little bit, but then we're gonna go for a little bit. So this game might be a tiny bit shorter, mostly to give Robin a break, and to not push her too hard because she did work today as well and was sick, you know.
And surprisingly, you think you feel better after lazing around for almost a week on your couch, and you're like, I feel great. I can do anything.
God of War.
I'm all better. I did beat God of War.
Boy, no spoilers,
so
but
good.
boy, it's a good game. Oh, and speaking of your boy, or you know, whatever, eventually they decide. Y'all are going to have a baby shower on the channel, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. The details of that are going to be going up in the Discord in the next day or so. I've been super busy with some drafts that I need to get the finals of. done, but the schedule is going to be going up there soon. You can take a look in our Discord, and it's going to be broadcast on Twitch, so you can come and join us. We got some like in-person events, probably a decent amount of Jackbox, because then you guys can play with us, and like we all love Jackbox. So, and it's a great way to interact with the audience. So we'll also have, if you are feeling generous, no pressure, if you want to donate, we are going to have a like donation link set up. Oh, also, you two, can I get you, if you don't already have one, to set up a PayPal donation address? And just like call it like,
I have one.
Okay, cool.
For my Twitch.
Cool.
That goes into
so we can just use that
particular
link.
account. So yeah.
Yeah, we can just use that, and like
I've never used it, so yeah.
Yep, it works pretty well. So we'll have that set up if you want to donate, and we'll have like the registry and stuff if anybody wants to purchase any presents or anything. And we will be doing it that way rather than just providing an address, because obviously security. Nobody wants to accidentally dock themselves to get like a baby blanket. Because you're cool, but the guy behind you might not be. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about Caitlan. She's sketchy. I know where your chair is, Chris.
You're calling me out.
Calling you out being sketch. But yeah, folks, quick reminder again that this Friday we are doing a How to Run Pathfinder game with a lovely cast that includes, you know what, I'm just going to pop it on the screen. I think that's more fun because I did the ad for it. So I'm going to show it. You know it.
Do it.
Working on it. Hold on. Yeah. But you should totally join us for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And where is it?
Also, like, you can see where I have my wig cap too, because that's where I paint too. And so there's just like this like gap between my hair and my paint. Just like.
All right. So, folks, you should absolutely join us for this episode of How to Run Pathfinder, and then the first episode of Pathfinder for this. Learn to play Pathfinder. What is Pathfinder and how do you play? Find out this Friday night at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/dorktales with Way the DM, Kel, Kelly, Robin, Christa, and Cal. It is a K-tacular game.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crobin.
Good job, Crobin and Christa. We're just gonna put a line through your C, Christa.
Okay.
Okay, all you have to do is just like erase the top part of my R so that I'm cobbin.
You're cobbin?
Ooh.
I'm
And
all
Quay.
cobbin. And
You're old.
Quay.
You like
Cobbin?
corn.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you can come for that. And quick reminder as well that we've got our Technocracy Session 0 on Sunday on the Patreon. Folks, I really want to hit 150 patrons. So if you're not on the Patreon and you want to sign up, man, I really want to play Star Trek again. What's up? What's up, Sabina?
Quick intro or
Christina.
interruption. Eolus was just asking if the registry is on Amazon.
There is an Amazon registry, I think, and there's a throne as well, right?
It'll go up in the event channel. Okay.
It will be
check
going
the
up in
event
Discord.
channel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one
I
that
just saw it.
amalgamates a whole bunch of websites. So there will be stuff from Amazon on it. There'll be stuff from like Indigo, other places. So just
Yep.
yeah.
Indigo is a book chain in Canada.
Kohl's.
Barnes and
Is that
Noble.
the same thing?
Formerly Barnes and Noble.
Really? Okay.
Formerly, they
thought
don't
one of
really
them was
exist.
gonna-
I think they went bankrupt, didn't they? So what? Yeah. What else? What else do I have to tell you? What other cool stuff?
Indigo has so much cool home stuff now, though. I'm less like, I want.
It's all
Anybody
bougie and
want to start
expensive.
I
But this is one of the 2 times in your life, guys.
Gargoyles board game, and I really wanted it, but it was
It's a
like
Gargoyles board
$50.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Gargoyles, like the Disney property, has a board game.
wow.
Tell me more.
That's interesting.
I just want to be Brooklyn.
No.
I
Queens.
don't know if you can be Brooklyn.
So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you come out to that. I hope you come out to the baby shower. I hope you come out to Mage, the Technocracy, and then
Such a magey weekend this weekend. I'm so
so much
excited.
mage this weekend. And then next weekend, we've got that. And then the following weekend, we have Mage. And then I'm taking Sunday off because it's my birthday. So, but the last thing I'm doing before my birthday is running Mage, though. So
That's fucking amazing.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
I honestly was thinking, like, and that's going to be, never mind. Just trust me. That's an episode you're going to want to watch.
Does this have anything to do with the question you asked me on the podcast?
No, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. You have to go listen to the podcast when it drops tomorrow morning at 8:59 a.m. Pacific. I was gonna put a State of the Dork up today, but I just slept all day instead because I was up working until 3 a.m. and coding podcasts.
State of the Dork, sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, that's basically just like in low power mode, just in vampire mode. Speaking of which, Vampire's done, and it is going. The final episode has been edited. It's going live tomorrow morning on YouTube, I think, or it went up to this morning. I can't remember. One of the two.
That was so entertaining to watch, by the way. Vampires, good job, good job. That was a very entertaining season to watch.
I'm glad. I'm very excited.
Could we?
Well, technically, Chris died. Like, he's dying.
I mean, yeah.
He's a fun guy.
Take me.
There's no room for the shroom. Yeah. And then the monthly game that I run for Patreon is going to be slightly delayed because we had to miss Monday because Robin wasn't recovered yet, and Robin's in that hunter game. But it was great because I had a little gap in my plot, and that extra day gave me time just to kind of like watch a bunch of TV and steal ideas. I'm serious, like, folks, and this is my greatest piece of advice to you dungeon masters and writers. All stories, like, what is it? There are 5, 7 original stories. I forget the actual 8, I think maybe 10. I don't know. But there aren't very many original stories. What there are is there are archetypical stories, and there is remix culture. And that's really what writing and storytelling is about. It's remixing ideas. So if you're stuck, go and expose yourself to something really different to what you normally do. If you normally watch or read certain types of media, go find something that is different. You will be surprised how often a romantic comedy will give you ideas for a D&D game. Horror movies. I can list a bunch of them. Find me on Discord. If you are running any horror games or running any stuff, if you're running Call of the Netherdeep, I strongly suggest you go and watch the movie Triangle. It's on Amazon in Canada. For free if you have Amazon Prime. It's on a bunch of places. It's a horror movie, but it is kind of similar to a lot of things in Call of the Netherdeep, at least this chapter. So Triangle, it's great. It's a little spoopy. And then I'm trying to think what else we have to say.
I googled, it's 7. There are 7 original stories.
7 original stories.
I thought so. I would.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 7.
8. I was like, oh, maybe it's 8.
7 is that number. 7 is that. It's the 7. Natural wonders.
And if you're looking to run a World of Darkness game, go watch 7. But don't make your players do any of that stuff without their consent. But if they're down for it, yeah, totally. Like, like if they want to deal with that level of horror, do it. Yep. Soul, Junji Ito does have a horror anthology on Netflix, which I'm going to force Robin to watch next time we hang out. Junji Ito is the creepy manga guy. My favorite thing, so last thing before we get back, my favorite thing is that, like, Junji Ito is one of the freakiest creators in the world right now. He's basically like the manga version of, I don't know, Stephen King and Clive Barker mixed together. More Clive Barker, but more Stephen King, like, prolific. But if you see him in real life, and Hayao Miyazaki in real life is a grumpy bastard who just hates everything. But his work is so whimsical and lovely. Meanwhile, Junji Ito's stuff makes you want to claw your eyes out. But if you look up a picture of him, I'm pretty sure his his wiki image is him wearing bunny ears, going like "nya," doing a nyan dance, because he gets it all out. I think, and it's so good. Or make the party watch Ernest Scared Stupid. You're absolutely right. Also, final thing before we go back, Jim Varney. I miss him. He was a great actor. I loved the Ernest stuff when I was growing up. I really want John Cena to make a sequel where he's Ernest's son. Look at their pictures next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
He does look like thick Ernest.
He looks like thick Ernest. He's the Ernest.
Turning into
Ernest.
I walked downstairs to get a snack, and my stepdad is watching.
Wait, what was the name of in the
right
Ernest?
No,
movies?
the one with John Cena.
Peacemaker.
WWE?
Thank you. Jeez, I was like, The Patriot. Nope, that's Mel Gibson.
Peacemaker.
What was the name of the guy that Ernest is always referring to?
Vern.
Hey, Vern. Vern. He should play Vern.
No, someone already played Vern, I'm pretty sure, in one of the movies.
Vern was actually shown?
I think he finally was shown. Ernest
I need
gets
to go to-
buffed. That's right. That's right.
I need
Zizi.
to go to Dorlen book. I've read a ton of graphic novels when I was sick, and I read the first 4 volumes of Chainsaw Man, and now I need to go buy the rest of the 12.
And I will get you Something is Killing the Children 5 when I'm done with it.
Okay.
Yeah, things that you need to see, or things you need to read if you're into graphic novels right now. Something is Killing the Children. I will specifically point at you, Soul Omen, and say you need to go read Witches with a Y, because it is uncomfortable to read that. I didn't give that to you, Robin, while you were sick. It is uncomfortable, and the art style makes me uncomfortable, but I know Soul would like it. It's about what if witches were real, but were actually trees, but also got inside of you. Yeah, and the art makes you feel it, and you're like, no thanks. Whereas Something is Killing the Children is great. It's a story about monster hunters, but like imaginary monsters, but they're actually real, but only kids can see them unless you have brain surgery. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for the chat portion. I just also wanted to say thank you so much to Ping for allowing us to broadcast in high def video. Thank you so much, Ping. It's amazing to see people comment on that, because our last episode of Mage the Ascension just switched to Ping. And I was seeing a bunch of people like comment on our Discord about how blown away they are by the sudden resolution and quality. But it's pretty great. It's pretty great. I don't know if it's on Crunchy. Go look. Like it's not a manga. It's like a comic. There are other comics. It doesn't have to be manga.
We were discussing manga, I suppose.
Oh, okay. North American comics are good. Like, you just need the right ones. Something is Killing the Children is great, though. Not for killing the children, but for just in itself, it's great. Well, now that I'm in this corner, time to put you all in corners. All right.
Yeah, but you asked to roll
in the corner.
I asked you to roll initiative. I'm gonna roll some initiative myself.
Can you roll lower than a 10, please?
I did. One of them.
Oh, nice. Nice.
There you go.
I'm gonna take the initiative, and then we're gonna hop back in the game. So.
What'd you say, Dorlen?
I think he has to hurt them more.
Yeah, that's true.
I do. You know, I'm gonna spend that to reroll one of the. I'm gonna reroll the. Yeah, that turns into that. I didn't reroll the 4. I left the 4 for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so what's my dex bonus? Oh yeah, that's.
I'm getting real sick of that 3. I think it's my favorite command.
Oh, it's so good.
Just because I hear Kelly say it. Get real sick of that 3.
Okay, so checking the initiative, I've got Zenada with a 21. I've got my boy antagonist there, and then I've got Xarria.
I know, I rolled really well.
We should
then I've
get
got
someone to make a D20 that's just all 3s as a birthday gift for Kelly.
Oh, it's like the one that you buy that's
2 weeks,
all
go.
crits.
Oh, just waited. Just get him a weighted.
Just wait it.
Close to 3.
Yeah, just waited. Oh my god.
I considered doing a birthday stream, but I'm gonna
Just
take the day off.
Like my whispering's actually gonna do anything to make him not be able to hear me.
When he's reviewing and editing the footage later, she's saying something.
Whoa.
Enhance.
Enhance. I would do it right now, but I'm lazy. Okay, then Kaeko, and then boom. Boom. All right. Folks ready to hop back in?
Boom, boom.
Right on.
Hello and welcome back to Call of the Nether. As you touch the moat, absorbs into you, and as it does, there are horrible shrieks that rise from beneath you as these lobster-like, shrimp-like beings, large in size, erupt from the sand around you and join the fight. And with that, I believe it is time for combat. Let's go ahead and switch over to our map frames. All right, at the top of the initiative, Theo cowers in the corner. Zenada, you are up. Zenada, these creatures are large with huge yellow pincers. Their chitinous exteriors undulating, coated with ruidium.
Okay.
What do you do?
This one is right in front of me too.
It is right in front of you.
That's kind of horrifying. I feel like I'm going to attack. And because this is like reared up right in front of me, I kind of want it dead. So I'm going to action surge as well.
All right, give it to me.
Okay, one sec. Well, that is 2 nat 20s and a 5.
Oh, get bent.
That's only my first 3 attacks. I'm action surging. I've got 3 more. 5, which is not going to probably hit. The 12 might hit, though, once it stuff added to it.
Okay.
9, 10, 21 on that one.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Yeah. And then otherwise it's 8. Well, other one's 18.
That's going to hit.
Okay. So that's 2 and 2 nat 20s.
Okay. Just give me damage.
Also, just to clarify, like for me and Zenada, it's the effect. It doesn't affect us. It's all of our allies, right?
Let me double check that. I'm pretty certain it's just your allies. So your allies.
Okay. So many dice.
So many dice.
So many.
59.
Okay, 2 hours.
And that was actually
later.
rolling pretty shitty.
That was not great for you, to be honest. And you doubled all your dice with the damage. Did you remember your orc trait?
Yes.
Okay.
So for each crit, I rolled 3 d8s.
Does that work every time you crit, or is there a cooldown on that? I can't remember.
No, when you score a critical hit, that's all it says.
Mm-hmm.
This happens. So I've just been doing it every time I crit, and then everything else had 1 d8. So that was 2 more attacks after that.
Sounds good to me. All right. So lunging forward, you're going to slash your blade 1, 2, 3 so many times into this creature. It's going to reel back as your blade cuts into its chitinous shell. The crustacean looms backwards as you slam into it, drawing blood that spreads across the water. And as you finish doing your particular offensive, it is going to let out a and is going to lunge at you and attack, still on its feet.
And as my bonus action, I am going to manifest my avatar.
Okay.
Oh, just...
Sounds good. All right. All right. I'm going to spend for that. Okay. Does an 18 hit you?
Let me double check. No.
An 18 does not hit you?
No, my armor class is 20.
Damn. Okay. Well, the first one's going to hit you, though, because that is a 22. You are going to take... you're going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and are grappled. And as you... So it's going to pinch into you, and as it does, tentacles are going to kind of lash out and wrap around you, coating your throat and around your arms. I need you to make me a Constitution save.
Okay. That's pretty freaking good.
Okay.
Was that at disadvantage? Because unfortunately you're 30 feet within me.
That's true.
Oh, am I 30 feet from you?
Yep, I measured.
Okay. That's not much worse. So 24.
Okay. Okay, 24. You are going to be fine. It attacks you. Xarria, it is your turn. What do you do?
I'm going to step forward a little bit so I can see Zenada.
Okay.
Perfect. And I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians.
All right, and remind me the radius of Spirit Guardians.
15 feet. Oh, oops. I was trying to do things too, but I didn't do it very well.
Is it a 15-foot radius or is it a 15-foot diameter?
15-foot radius. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I've given you an aura.
Perfect. I just need to not have...
Okay, so that is going to start one of them in there at the beginning of their turn.
Amazing. I'm actually... I just step forward a little bit more. Because I can see them flitting.
Okay, sounds good.
So. I see them flitting around me. Okay, and then I'm going to heave my shield and cast Vital Sacrifice. Or just do Vital Sacrifice on myself.
Sounds good. All right, so and Spirit Guardians goes off at the beginning of their turn, right?
Yes, when they start their turn in it. They have to do a Wisdom saving throw.
Sounds good. Okay, all right, so that is going to be your turn there. Then it is Sabina or Dorlen. And Sabina, you do have your determination back?
Go ahead.
Okie dokie. Yes, I thought I had spent mine. I didn't realize. Thank you to whoever thought that for me. I'm gonna take a step in and hang out over here. I think Dax is going to come in. I think I can move that far. I'm going to use my bonus action to get Dax to give Kaeko the help action. So he will come around over here and give her. So that should balance out. Well, you don't have disadvantage, so it'll give you advantage.
No, I have disadvantage. I'm 30 feet from Zenada.
Oh, right. Because
I'm the saving throws. I'm the saving throws.
You're saving throws.
Not the attacks.
Cool. I am going to then step in and shoot 2 arrows at the one Zenada is fighting, the one furthest north.
Sounds good. Make me the attacks.
Unfortunately, you are at disadvantage. Yeah.
Yup. Okay, that is a 15.
15 is... Oh, you have determination. Do you want to use it?
Sure, I'll use my determination.
Oh, look, it worked.
Hooray! And that's a 17.
That will hit. For anybody who thinks I go a little too light, I don't do it during boss fights. Stats are off during the boss fights. But if you wanna fight some Chul, I don't care.
The tutorial hint is up during the low stuff. The tutorials come off.
You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That is double 6s on my damage plus 8, so that's 10 and 10. That's 20 damage.
Heck yeah!
20 damage. Oh, it's going to be 2 of your arrows are going to slam into this creature that is still grappling with Zenada. It's still alive, but is very, very badly hurt. All right, Sabina, that is your turn. Dorlen, you're up, my friend.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to... Dorlen's going to swim past Xarria, go up to the one in front of her, and try and punch at it. So with disadvantage on attacks, that's a 16.
16 is going to hit.
Sweet. That will be 15 thunder damage.
Okay.
And then, you know, those 5, 10, 15... Yeah, 5, 10, 15... 25, 30, and attack this one that's holding down Zenada.
Okay.
Ooh, 13. Curse that disadvantage.
All right. 13 is going to be a miss. All right, so taking a swing, you are going to miss there. Do you have anything you're spending your bonus action on, or was that treating on your armor?
Temporary hit points, and then done.
All right, sounds good. All right, and what's my save, Xarria? And is it a... That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Silvery barbs.
That's a 7.
17 is your save.
That's like halfway there, right? Like 7 and 17. They're the same thing, really. Was it a wisdom
Pretty
save?
much. It's a wisdom save.
Yeah, these guys aren't terribly wise. They don't learn from their mistakes well.
Do they have blood though? Oh, I rolled really well, actually.
I'm gonna say yes. I did say that like viscous fluid was oozing out of them. I called it blood. Here's the question: Do crustaceans have blood? Someone Google it and let me know. But I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Depends
I'm
on the
gonna give it-
crustacean, because I know horseshoe crabs definitely do, because that is a like
true.
special medical thing.
Right.
That's
Yes.
true. But do lobsters or do shrimp? Do prawns have it? Because these guys are basically prawns. They're prawn stars.
I'm gonna give my advantage to Sabina for silvery barbs. Just FYI.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
sounds good. Okay, so Xarria, we're gonna say that they have blood.
Okay, then they take an extra 5 damage if the whoa,
Yes,
sorry,
it's
it
blue.
almost hit the wrong button.
People in the chat are
Prawns
saying
do
yes, of
have
course
blood,
they do, but
they're
spiders
weird.
don't have blood.
They
So-
do. It's a
Yes, they-
different type, and it's blue.
Yes, and it's a weird circulatory system. Yes.
So
Sorry, I was just
That'll
reminded
be-
that spiders are powered by hydraulics, and I was just picturing a spider
Yeah.
lowrider doing joo, 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 joo,
nice.
So
going through like
Wild West.
yeah, basically. All right, so Xarria, go.
So 21 radiant damage and then 5 necrotic damage, so 26 altogether.
Oh,
Question for you.
yeah.
This one says when you hit with an attacker spell, so I will have something else that I have says when you hit. So not like when they fail your save.
Yeah, no, it's a spell
never
attack
see
then.
in there. Okay, perfect. Never mind.
I know, would have been great for you, but it didn't work out. So
That's fine.
you know what, Dorlen, you want this. So the second one is going to move out of the spirit guardians, and it's going to go up, and it's going to try to give you a hug, my friend, with its pincers.
It's so nice.
Those are the worst die rolls. I'm getting real sick of that 3 too. Someone please buy me Hurt the Morris. It's going to rush out at you and go snip snip, and it is not going to be able to attack you, which sucks. Kaeko, it is then your turn. The one directly to the south is still there. Oh, and there's a Hurt the Moors now, of course. Oh, 2 of them. I'll save those for the minute.
So Kaeko is
Three in total so far.
is thinking back to her conversation with Galsariad.
4.
And she's going to start taking out her baton, and she's just gonna start thinking about that shepherd's tone.
Shepherd's Tone.
And
Okay.
she's gonna like hit her baton on the wall several different places to try and get that thing, and she's gonna kind of basically use her magic to like take that sound, warble it together, and then she's going to lob it to the kind of far back of the cavern, and she is casting Gravity Sinkhole. So I need the 2 crabs thingies to make a con save, please.
I got a 17 and a 16 before my mods.
I'm going to Silvery Barbs the 16.
Is this the same round?
Which turned into a
It
17.
refreshes.
On your
It
turn.
refreshes. All right, so
16
they
became a
probably... Yeah, it's a 15, but they'll still take half of 5d10 force damage.
Do it. Hurt me.
Wow.
On a
Nice.
failed, they aren't pulled in. Unfortunately, they aren't pulled away. But they'll take half of 5d10. So
Nice. Give it to me.
I'm getting all my d10s. Ooh, 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 ooh. Holy snokies. 10, 20, 33, 39 points. Half
Holy
would be...
crap.
Yeah, half
Holy
of 39
Wow.
is...
Half of 39 is 19. Yeah.
So they're going to take 19 points of force damage.
Okay, got to do some quick math. That becomes 8. That becomes... Pretty sure that's the way. Okay, Zenada, you are no longer being grappled, as the one that was grabbing onto you is going to dissolve.
That one actually is not into it.
Was that?
No, it's 20
Yeah, I think
feet
it's the two
radius.
in between.
The two that were closest to the center here, it's only 20-foot radius.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Otherwise,
I
I'd
thought
be
you were doing
worrying about getting my allies.
Okay, well then
No,
never
it's a
mind.
20-foot
It's still alive
radius.
then.
Yeah.
So that was 23, you said?
19.
No, 19. Right.
Yeah. And then as a bonus action, she's going to
Okay, both of them are going to be
Sing
struck by the
to-
gravitational waves. The one in the center is fairly bloody. Do you think it's quite badly damaged? The one at the bottom is now hurt and is a bit angry.
and then she's gonna look over at Zenada and be like, "You gotta chop, 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 chop till you drop. Slice it up and crush that crustacean."
Okay.
And you take a bardic inspiration.
And that's
All right.
D.
Ooh, let me check if I went up at level 10. I don't know if my die goes up at level 10, please. Yes, it's a D10 now.
Sweet.
Did
And that
you
just adds
drop
to anything?
Some Sharpay Evans to kill a prawn.
Yep. And it is any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, so D10 now.
All right. It is now Chul
I
3
can add
turns.
it after rolling. So that's great.
After rolling, but before knowing the results.
Yeah, before I say yes or no. So, Chul number 3 is going to fail its roll versus Spirit Guardians to start off. So, Xarria, hit me with your best shot.
All right.
Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
Oh, not as good. But that's going to be 13 points of necrotic damage and then 5 points. Or, sorry, other way around. 13 of radiant and 5 of necrotic.
Okay, so that would be... Well, my math is good. And I can sense magic. It's going to take a step forward into Spirit Guardians and is going to level 2 of its attacks directly at you, Xarria. That's a nat 20. And that was a 7, but let's re-roll that.
Oh, also, I used my silvery barbs. I'm going to give Zenada advantage for the silvery barbs because I used it again on my
Sounds
turn. So
Good. All right, so that is going to be, does a 15, the 15 does not hit you by any stretch. Okay, but one of its pincers is going to lash by you, and the first one is going to actually smash into you for 14 points of bludgeoning damage. You are grappled and must make me a Constitution save.
Okay. That was not bad. But I am going to use my determination.
Because it's a saving throw, you have disadvantage,
Oh.
don't forget.
Right. That was... that was just a little bit worse, but I'm going to use my determination.
Okay, damn it.
Sorry. And
It's
that's
okay,
going
go
to be
ahead, 17. All right, so you are not going to be poisoned by this. However, you did take 14 points of damage. I need a concentration check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, wait, pardon me. It's just a check, so you're going to be just rolling flat.
Okay.
Sorry, I was including it in a save in my head for a second. I'm like, wait, it's not a save. What am I doing? But
No, it's all good. Nope, that's going to drop.
Okay, Spirit
Yes,
Guardians.
I would-
How much by? Or
Oh,
what
a
did you
lot.
roll?
I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2.
What's your
So-
constitution?
A lot.
Not a like 30.
Plus 2.
Oh, so close. Damn. I could have
So
I could have
close,
well
so
actually that if it was one higher.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yep.
That's okay. In any
Okay.
case,
All right, so the Chul is going to slash out, bludgeoning you with its claws. The pain is going to cause your Spirit Guardians to dissipate with a and then
did I?
you
I
can
can't
Hellish
remember
Rebuke.
yeah, I couldn't remember when I did it.
You've taken a short rest since then.
Okay.
I believe it's a short rest recharge on that, isn't it?
Do it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Thought it was a short rest. Now I'm not sure. Now I'm
Pretty
confused.
sure it's not.
Oh, your tiefling ability?
Tiefling
Yeah.
ability.
I'm pretty sure that's a long rest kind of thing.
Okay.
Long rest. Long rest. So sorry about that. So you're gonna get chomped. Then we're gonna be at the top of the initiative. Boop, boop, boop. Back with Zenada. Zenada, you are still grappled.
Okay. So I think I need to use my action to get out of that.
You will have to make an escape check. Yep.
Okay.
It's acrobatics or
kill it.
athletics, whichever you prefer.
But that's just to get out of it, correct?
That's just to get out of it. Yeah. So.
So
while
if
you
I
are-
have an avatar that could do my attacks from its location.
Oh
does
well, you may
grapple
still
act
attack
to
this
prevent
thing.
That.
You may still attack. Your speed is just 0.
Oh, okay.
For
And
you,
you're
this is
already-
honestly.
I'm just gonna try and
Oh
kill
no,
it
it
then.
puts you at disadvantage, right? Doesn't it? Oh, no, you don't. You don't have disadvantage from. which
No,
is
it's
so
her own
weird.
thing. Yeah, she has her
Yeah.
own thing.
No, from being restrained. I always think that like you should
Yeah,
be
you-
at
you should,
disadvantage
right?
for hitting. but
Grapple.
you don't.
I'm just gonna put this out here. Grappling rules in any system stink.
Yeah.
I built a grappling specialist in Pathfinder once. Proudest moment of my life.
All right, I'm just gonna attack then.
Is that the one that suplexed a dragon?
I'm just gonna use my base attack, and yeah,
All right, give
I
it to
got
me.
advantage on one of them, and I've got a D10 I can spend. Okay. All right. It's not awful, so that is +7 at each of those. So 19, 21, and 22 to hit.
Those are all gonna be hits. Roll me damage.
Awesome. That is. $38.
Okay. I'm going to let you have your dice still separate.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let you redirect that last attack to the next one because by the second attack you're gonna have this thing killed.
Okay. Yeah, because I rolled a 5, 5, and 7, and I add 7 to each.
Okay.
Set
So
damage.
that last attack is going to hit the Chul that's next to Dorlen. What's your damage on that?
14.
14. Cool. You are going to slash into its chitinous exterior, and that is that the end of your turn?
Yes, because I've already used my bonus action last turn to bring out my avatar. I'm not sure where it is on the map, so I haven't moved it. I couldn't find it. Most of the map's dark, so I don't know where it went.
It's right next to you now.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, that's it for you. Xarria, you're up.
Oh, right, because the other one got blasted. Okay, well, so in theory, if it's grappling me, I can touch it.
Yes, you can.
Perfect. I'd like to try to inflict wounds on it.
Okay, so you have advantage from Silvery Barbs, so you will be rolling flat.
Oh, I thought Silvery Barbs was Zenada got advantage.
Was it
Oh,
Zenada?
Yeah, I was
okay.
given Zenada on one of them.
Yeah,
That's what I
Zenada and Sabina I gave it to, I believe.
That's what
Okay.
I thought.
I will
sorry.
I will let you roll flat because it is grappling you though, and that to me, because it is an inflict, is just a touch. So you
It's
literally
just
just
a
have to put
touch.
your hand on
I
it.
literally just have to reach out and touch it.
So I'm gonna give you advantage on this because, which is gonna mean you're gonna roll flat because you have disadvantage. So
Yep.
it just is one of those little nitpicky rules that I really take exception to. Like if all I have to do is like poke you on any part of your flesh for you to die, then I've watched.
Somehow.
You know what? I've watched
Yeah.
Pushing Up Daisies. I know how this works.
Yes, such a good
Yeah,
show.
at the end of my turn, I was tempted to move, but I was like, Zenada doesn't know she's inflicting disadvantage on her friends necessarily, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
really
no.
make sense to move.
We're all just.
Reach. Damn it, Christa.
Yes.
I
Oh,
was tempted to sing that. Yeah.
Your own personal
Okay. Anyway,
lobster.
I suppose I should roll or something, right?
What about wild rock lobster?
24.
A rock lobster. That's gonna hit.
Perfect.
It's gonna hit. The
Oh,
rock
sorry. Did I say that
lobster.
I upcast? Shoot. I was gonna upcast it. at
You
second
didn't,
level.
but I have something good happens. So yes, you did.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
'Cause I need to use
Nice.
that.
I got too excited about it.
Right?
Yeah, I was just like ready to. The bad touch.
We also have the vital sacrifice too.
Oh, I know.
Yo.
I got that one. I got that
Sweat.
one
Sorry,
covered.
sweat. Second. I need.
Alrighty.
You and me, Xarria, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's touch those crabs like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Where are you going with this? I think I'm really not sure where you're going with this,
It's on the
Robin.
prawn now.
See, I had you and me, baby, ain't nothing but lobsters, but then I wasn't sure where to go from there.
Mm.
I don't think anyone's sure where to go from there.
Where do we go?
Someone said bad touch, and then
Yeah,
that was
100%.
it. Yeah.
So that would be 32 necrotic damage,
Holy crap!
and then
Go
5
on.
more necrotic damage. So 37 necrotic damage. I forgot it's all necrotic damage. So
Okay.
inflict wounds is necrotic damage. My vital sacrifice is, as well as bloodletting. Focus.
Okay. So
Oh,
how do you want to do this?
Yes. I love killing things with inflicting wounds. I want to kind of reach into kind of its shell, kind of where it was trying to poison me.
Yep.
And just kind of shoot that back at it and just have it kind of crumble. along.
It is absolutely going to crumble to dust in front of you.
Amazing.
Damn, son.
I got 2 6s on my my vital sacrifice, so it was well worth it.
That was
Well done.
dope. You
Well done.
you rickety wrecked it, man.
Thanks.
All right. So
Xarria special.
okay, Sabina or Dorlen, who is going first?
Go ahead.
Okie dokie. I will see if I can get Dax close enough here. Sure can. So Dax is gonna run over and help Dorlen. Give Dorlen the help action. She's going to take a step out here and take 2 shots at the lobster.
The rock lobster?
At the rock lobster. Oh, and I have advantage on one of these from Silvery Barbs. So one of them I'll roll flat, and the other one
Yep.
I'll roll with disadvantage.
All
Cool. So
right.
the first one with disadvantage is a 15. And I don't have determination, so I think that will miss.
Okay.
And oh, that's a 19, so 29 to hit.
So that one's gonna hit. Roll me damage.
Fantastic. And d6. And that'll be 9 damage.
9 damage to the last Chul standing. Okay, that's going to slam into it. Do you have anything that any bonus actions, anything else you'd like to use on it?
That's Dax is my bonus action to give the help action.
There. All right. So that's going to be Sabina. Dorlen, you are up. An arrow flies across the room, sailing through the water, and slams into the side of the troll, who is still bearing down on you, trying to hit you. What do you do?
Dax runs up and tries to help.
No means no. 24.
Was that 24? That probably hits.
Woohoo.
It's only 6 times the challenge rating. I'm pretty sure it hits.
Ooh. That'll be 7 thunder, and then second attack at disadvantage will be 22.
Good. Level 11 characters, man. That's gonna hit. Roll me damage.
For 15 thunder.
Oh man. That's real big. Okay. That is great. Do you have another bonus action you'd like to use?
No, I am going to stand there in front of the giant prawn lobster thing and just... That's all.
Okay, it is absolutely, it's still up, but is absolutely pretty badly damaged. Congrats. Going down the list, as you slam your fist into it twice, cracking it's Caitlan. Kaeko, you are up.
How bad does this look?
Pretty bad. I'm not saying that it's not like blinking red and black like a video game boss, but it's definitely you know what it is? It's like when you're like cracking open like a crab and you can't quite get the good meat, but it like you're splintering it a bunch and you're just like, oh god, I just need a little one of those little forks. So if you have one of those little forks, it's dead.
I'm just okay. My whole dilemma here, folks, is I really want to mock it to death. And I'm wondering if I have
probably can't mock it to death. Maybe like you need a good solid like 2 or 3 rounds of that probably.
Okay. Because I don't.
It would have to be an insult that you'd have to explain in depth, which in my experience never goes well.
Fine. So 3d4 won't quite finish it off. Fine.
I'm not gonna say anything more.
No, that's fine. I was just thank you for the honesty that you had. So mentally I'm trying to figure out. Kaeko's doing math. It's a real rough time. You don't want to spend
Kaeko pulls out the cork board from before, flips it around. It's a chalkboard, which really it shouldn't work underwater, but it kind of does. It's got like a magic marker from Bodhi.
Gnomish chalk.
Do I want to waste a spell slot?
A chalk lobster?
Maybe you should ask it a question.
I should ask it a question.
Doesn't have her axe on her.
My axe.
You left it with Bodhi. Gyroni's
I can sport it. I can skewer the shrimp.
Use your S words.
Yeah. I will probably do that. It's kind of boring, but Kaeko will probably do that. I was doing the whole bonus action spiritual weapon and vicious mockery combo.
Right. Make me an attack with disadvantage, please.
Yes.
Here comes the nat 1.
No, don't even say that. That's rude. My dice have been cursed tonight. I rolled 2 13s, so blah blah blah. So with disadvantage,
I'm gonna spend to hurt them more. To silvery barbs you.
Ooh!
How dare!
Spicy.
Fucking rude. I rolled a nat 20 off of that, so fuck you.
Dare.
Fuck you.
You still have to take the 13. But
give me the nat 20, you bastard. So that's gonna be a 21. 22.
Yeah, okay, that'll hit. Fine.
Yeah. So 1d10 plus 2d6.
We have fun here. Jerk.
Grr. You're a jerk. You're using my own spell against you. You did that to me before too. You're the only one who's used silvery barbs against me. As a DM.
Do it again too.
Beautiful.
18 plus 4. 22 points of damage.
Oh,
23 points of damage.
is it 23? Is it 22 or 23?
No, it's 22.
Because it matters. It matters.
You know, that's why I said 23. I was like, if I do it one more, does it?
Yeah, I'm spending my last hurt them more. All
What,
right,
to give them more hit points?
no, but do you have any other actions? You rush forward and you stab. Did you roll the extra d6s?
Yes, it's 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, no, I'll roll 1d10.
Okay.
This is why it sucks, because I'm not a fighter. I can do one attack on my turn if I do this. So this is why I was like, spells. So that's Kaiko's turn.
Okay. All right. So Kaeko, you rush forward, stabbing this thing. It begins to erupt, parts of it flecking off, its shell shattering along the seams, and it's going to let out a scream and attack you, which is going to be great for me.
Was that with disadvantage?
No, because I spent a hurt them more.
Damn it.
So that's gonna be 2 hits though.
I will silvery barbs one of those, bitch.
Oh, you. I mean, I rolled higher than before, so there we go. Okay, so
one. I'm gonna
the
give
first one-
Zenada advantage. Fucking.
So here's the
destroy
sequence
him.
of events, though. The first one is going to impact you, and that's going to be a total of 7 points of damage, but I need you to make me a Constitution save with disadvantage. Wait, are you the save?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm the save, so no.
Okay, so 7 points of damage. You are grappled.
That's gonna be a.
And then 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
I should have raged. I didn't think it was worth it, but I should have raged.
All right, this thing is going to grapple onto you. Its tendrils kind of snaking their way around your biceps and throat.
17. I'm gonna spend determination.
For what?
Just to do that.
For the save.
You're still grappled, but you are not poisoned.
Yeah, no, I rolled a 14. I rolled a 17, and I wanted to make sure I didn't fail it, so I used my determination.
All right, sounds good to
save.
me. All right, so it is wrapping around you. You are grappled. Zenada, top of the initiative. It is your turn. It's right next to you.
Stab, stab, stab.
You know what? Roll and tell me if any of them are botches.
Okay.
That's the only thing I want to know. You're rolling.
Nope. Lowest one's a 9.
Okay. All right.
Which I still have that D10 that I could add to it.
Cool. How do you want to do it? Kaeko is basically holding it still with the grapple, so.
I think some really nice, like, while Keiko's holding it, stab it and then flick the sword up to cut its claws off so that she's not grappled.
Okay. And now the most important question of the session: will Kaeko
She's
eat
left
it?
holding claws.
You go back to
Snack.
thermal vents and you can melt some butter. Good.
Anybody got any garlic?
All right. With that, the last one of the Chul falls to the ground dead. And you are once again just alone in the room. Theo stops cowering.
Xarria has a spice pouch.
I was going to mention that, but it wasn't really
We have
a good
garlic
time.
powder.
But I do have a spice pouch.
I pity the Chul.
I feel like that's an important thing to say out loud, though.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Keiko will eat the crab.
Are you going to? I gotta look this up real quick. Okay, so.
Would you like seasonings?
Oh, yeah, sure. That would be lovely. She'll hold out a claw.
Crack it.
Yeah, done with the seasonings on.
One of the other bodies starts to move, and then its head comes up, and then Dax walks forward with the head on his head.
Oh.
So these creatures, by the way, I did not say before, they're 8 feet tall and weigh 650 pounds. So that's a lot of meat. This lobster-like creature, it says nothing about it being... So it has a poison sac in its tentacles, but does not naturally... Is not... Yeah, okay. Are you going to start cooking it? Are you going to just bring it with you? What are you going to do?
Eat it there.
We close to
Raw.
boiling water. We just kind of like...
Oh my god.
Just hold the claw.
You're the vent. You're the vent.
Self-boiled.
Okay.
We
So
just stick
as
it on
you...
the spear.
Can we take a short rest to have a snack?
Yes.
And get my action surge back?
I definitely need a short rest.
So you take a short rest. As you do, can I please get a wisdom? Give me a survival check to correctly clean the tool.
All right, I'll help with that.
Okay, so with that, then you can roll with advantage.
Sweet.
Sabina's just staying out of this. Sabina would have a nat 20 automatically.
Oh yeah,
I'm good. I'm proficient in
She's
survival.
walking. Yeah, you probably have a higher.
I have expertise in survival.
Do you? Okay.
Oh
then
yeah, you do. Hell
tell me what you get.
I got a 15 plus 8.
Okay, so you're easily able to cut around and find the most tender cuts of meat here, and make me a wisdom cooking check.
Oh, I keep fucking forgetting about the fact that I have my stone's endurance during combat. Fuck.
Yeah, well, that is life.
Yep. Wisdom for cooking. I don't think Kaeko knows how to cook, so she'd definitely maybe pass it off to someone else. Potentially who is willing to... Has anyone cooked crab before?
I've cooked over fire before.
I've cooked a lot of different things before, but never crab in particular.
Don't know that there's that much to do besides hold it in the boiling water.
I'd be okay taking over though if you'd like.
Sure, if you want to do that. I'm not a very good cook. Bodhi usually does all the cooking.
Sure, no worries. Wisdom, did you say?
Yep, wisdom.
I think you said wisdom,
if you're proficient in cook's tools, then you can use your proficiency bonus, but I don't think anybody is.
No. Da-da-da.
Unless I can use my disguise kit to make this seem like a good meal.
It depends.
Plus
You
five.
can use your disguise kit
22.
to hide the rat under your hat, which will give you advantage.
Oh!
Fantastic. There we go.
Just fit Dax under your hat, and you're like Dax is pulling on you with his hat. It's a very big hat. What'd you get on your rolls,
It just
Xarria?
has his head on top of mine.
22.
22? Yeah. So you using your spice pouch, you're kind of able to do like a brine.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I don't know how you cook this thing. What do you use? Like fire? Do you have a flame spell? Do you have firebolt? Do you have
Sorry, did somebody ask for fire? Firebolt.
I think so. No, I don't have anything actually.
Okay.
But yes, Dorlen, if you'd like to assist me.
All right, so you are going to be able to each get a nice, about fist size, like about a softball worth of like firm but pretty palatable lobster meat. It's like the strangest
Sabina knows
thing.
this is an aberration and is not taking part.
It's like it kind of tastes
Fair
as
enough.
you're eating it. It kind of tastes like what would happen if you mix like lobster and pork belly. So it's like lobster, but with like an underlying greasiness.
Mm.
I'll pass. I'm allergic to shellfish.
Right, it's really tasty. Also, Kaeko will do her singing while we're waiting for things to cook. She'll sing some sea shanties
All right, go
for the
ahead.
Song of Rest if anyone wants to add a D8.
Yes.
There. Actually, it's a
will
bardic
do the hit
inspiration.
die.
It might be a D10 now because of my
Oh.
inspiration.
Mm.
Let me just recheck Song of Rest
Mm.
because that's does seem. Oh my god, where is features? Come here. Fucking
Yes. Ta-da. Okie dokie.
No, it's still 1D. Oh, we're to go to 1D10 at 13th level.
Okay.
You all take a moment, a few minutes to cook this up and heal. And as you finish consuming, you finish catching your breath. There's a quiet that passes. Theo, looks down. No longer afraid of the monsters that were hounding you, and says, "You've seen and heard creatures. Creatures' rage is Elixion's rage. Their sorrow is his own. Their yearning to escape is his yearning to escape. And when he is angry, Elixion curses and scorns the gods, but he always returns to prayer, as if hoping for an answer to why the gods abandoned him. When Elixion's rage is spent, temporarily the Netherdeep grows dark and quiet. In those moments, I hear a gentle laughter coming through the grottos, and I feel a lightness, dare I say, a budding joy. I think in such moments he finds peace. Peace of the Apotheon remains uncontaminated by regret, fury, yearning, and despair, submerged beneath all his anger. When you see him in his present form, appeal to the shard of his psyche, please. You must not simply free him. Do whatever it takes. Truly save.
Oh. Wait. So how do we do that? Isn't his problem that he's trapped here? I'm not good at getting into people's heads.
I think what Theo means is kind of what we're already doing. You know how we've shown him things that he's never seen before, like in his vision when we healed his friend and he said, "Oh, now I know what she would have said to me." I think we're healing his heart. Seems.
All I can say is keep going. Till the end.
You know what always helps me when I'm feeling down? A song from Kaeko.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
It's a very good song, Kaeko.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm working on the lyrics so far. I only have that, but I am working on it.
The
It's
Netherdeep.
very, very apt.
The Netherdeep.
Here it is worser down where it's curster. Listen to me.
Oh.
Everything's scary, nothing is hairy, everything's crabs.
Everything's crabs. Well, where do we go from here? Do we continue? This chamber looks empty, right? Oh, there's just walls.
You must keep going. With the heart of despair.
All right.
That way. Kaeko's gonna start feeling on the walls for this like hingy doors.
You know, Xarria is gonna do the same, but like wrap around the opposite way.
Okay.
Just
As
to
you're
Make sure to
doing
use some
that,
force.
there's going to be a flicker in your mind, and then bleeding heavily, you'll see vision. The warrior limps through the burning battlefield toward a wailing child. She screams. She sees him. He flinches, and picks her up, carries her toward the remnants of civilization in the distance. Vision passes. As you feel around the edge of the room, back the way you came. Continue north. Eventually find your way. And please, don't judge him too harshly. There's goodness in him still, buried deep under so many centuries.
Somebody else think maybe we should have brought a therapist with us?
Well, Dorlen, I suppose we'll have to do.
You're ex-professor. Doesn't mean you can therapize people.
Dax will make a noise. And as you go and you see that Dax is like looking at Theo's direction. And when you turn back from Dorlen speaking, Theo's gone.
Oh, that thing's coming after us, isn't it now?
We should go
To the north.
Yep.
All right.
Run or swim faster. Swiftly. Let's
Donkey
go.
paddle. More bounder paddle.
No, it's a Dax paddle, obviously.
Aww.
You make your way back into the first chamber. The ruidium light erupts around you. As you continue forward, do you head out?
Mm-hmm.
Moving through the first chamber, making your way toward the door in the wall that you led to by Theo. You push through it. As you do, you see the shape of Elixion the Hunter, the Ruidium Golem, standing at the top of the corridor to the north.
We're supposed
And
to
I
go
need an
that way,
initiative
no?
roll. And Kaeko, you were the first one out the door.
Guess who remembered they can't roll ones?
Nice.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
First time I remembered by myself.
Right, going through the initiative now. I have Kaeko at the top, followed by Dorlen, followed... Oh, yeah, nobody tied this time. Beautiful. Followed by Zenada, followed
Yeah, you've got
by...
a really nice descending.
Yeah, I really do.
numbers,
Followed
except for
by
me.
Sabina, followed
Oh,
by...
that 0 looks like a 6. I think it's 16.
Nice.
Elixion the Hunter, followed by Xarria. All right, so as you look out, you are going to see this ancient ruidium golem directly in front of you. What do? Kaeko, you have top initiative.
Oh boy. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. If I upcast this, what can I do? No, I can't upcast it. Okay. Kaeko is going to see that. She's gonna be like, go back in the door, be like, Apotheon's here. I'm gonna try and get behind him. And she's going to kick the door open while casting greater invisibility on herself and run past him as far as she can.
Okay, let me just check something real
80
quick.
feet.
Okay, that is... Oh man, oh, will this work? I have to double check something real quick. Do I have...
True
Oh,
sight.
balls. It does not specifically say. It says that I can track you wherever you are in the Netherdeep, but it does not say I can perceive you when I am present. It basically means I can do the thing where you hide in the closet and I serial killer walk past it.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and move. All right, casting invisibility. You are going to push your way through.
Yep. So that's 5 feet there and then 40 feet. Yeah, she's going to run and get 40 feet there.
40 feet there, so
and-
pushing back into the room with the giant eye.
Yep. She's going to, as she leaves, she's going to, as she left the room, she's going to look at Xarria and be like, you got this. And quietly give her bardic inspiration.
Okay, sounds
The
good
boy
to me.
that refreshed on a short rest.
Thank you.
And yeah, That is Kaiko's.
Okay, that's Kaiko's turn. Dorlen, it is your turn. What do you do?
Oh, whoa. Oh, where? Ah, Kaeko vanished. And Dorlen will run up to the thing and start doing some fisticuffs.
All right, go ahead.
You know what sucks? Disadvantage with a nat 20. So that'll be a 16 instead.
Okay.
And a 26.
Okay, the 26 will hit.
And that'll be 15 thunder.
15 thunder. Okay.
And,
all right, your thunder is going to slam into it. Little shards of iridium are going to break off as you impact, but it is going to be still present. It still is there and looks pretty angry. Do you have any other actions?
No.
All right,
I'll
Zenada.
just look up at it.
Zenada, you're up, and then Sabina's on deck.
All right, so I think I heard them yell about the Apotheon being here.
Mm.
So I will try and move up into that space. Can't. Oh God, because he's right there, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Okay, well, I'll move up, pass by Dorlen, behind Dorlen there,
Okay.
and manifest my avatar on the other side, I guess, to attack.
Sounds good.
And do my attacks from that location.
Sounds great to me. Go ahead.
Okay. Does my bardic inspiration die still exist since I haven't used it? How long does that last?
No,
It's
because
10 minutes, so yeah,
Okay.
it would be
the
gone.
short rest would have killed it.
Okay. That is cool. So that is going to be... Let me check my numbers. $27, $24, and $24 to hit.
Okay, those are all going to hit.
Okay. My dice have been rolling kind of shitty tonight for damage. $33 points.
33 points. Ooh, I love it when things are nice and round. Perfect. All right. Your echo is going to go slash, slash, slash. I'm going to spend a hurt them more right now, though. Go. That is going to be... Zenada, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Quick. That's going to hit with disadvantage. As you surge forward and your duplicate appears, Elixion the Hunter is going to look at your duplicate as it slashes into him, and passively, like he doesn't even care, is going to turn, reach into his chest, pull a shard of iridium out, and throw it directly into you. It's going to slam into your shoulder. I need you to do me a favor and make me a charisma save. With disadvantage. Oh wait, pardon me. Are you within 30 feet of Kaeko?
I don't know where Kaeko is.
She is 35 feet from you. So
Oh, she's under the shadow. Okay.
You can roll flat.
Sweet. Okay, so that's charisma.
Charisma saving throw, please.
It's not my most awful save, but that is going to be 17.
+5.
Okay. Okay.
Buddy system.
Buddy system.
Okay, so you are going to take half damage then. One moment, please, while I calculate this.
Good thing I spent hit dice.
Yeah, you're going to take 15 points of psychic damage.
Ouch.
Okay. It's going to worm its way into you and vanish as it strikes you.
Whoa.
Gross.
All right.
Insidious. I love it.
Sabina, it's your turn.
Cool beans. Dax and I are going to head into the hallway here. Dax is going to, I'm going to use my bonus action for Dax to give me the help action by flipping me up onto his back so that I can see over everybody. And I would like to cast Witch Bolt at a 3rd level.
Sounds good.
And so I'm rolling at disadvantage because of Zenada, but I will be rolling it flat with help from Dax.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a 25.
With disadvantage?
Oh no, I'm flat because of
oh yeah, because of Dax.
'cause I have help.
Okay, and so that's gonna hit. Roll me damage.
So that'll be 3d12.
Okay, and that's the Witch Bolt is prolonged contact, right? It's the circuit.
Yeah, so as long as I'm concentrating, I will automatically do 3d12 damage the next round.
Okay.
I think I'll need to double check if it's just 1, but I think it's 3. Regardless.
I think it's just 1 afterwards, regardless if you cast it or not.
I'll double check that in a sec, but I think it's just there's no additional. It's just d12. Yeah, so it's a d12 lightning. And yes, there's no save for it. Perfect. Okay, so that is 18, 19, 20, 21 lightning damage.
21 lightning damage?
Yeah. So she's going to pull her bow out and an invisible arrow that kind of creates itself out of green bubblingness, and it's going to shoot out, and it's going to almost look like a gooey piece of seaweed that's going to connect into into Stone Elixion, and then she's just gonna wrap it around her arm and just hold on to it.
Okay.
And then
that's gonna keep like jolting him. At this point, he is going to turn. Dorlen, you're directly in front, so I apologize for this.
Bring it on.
That's what's your AC?
23, I think.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be, it's gonna be 1 hit for sure. Take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as it's going to just reach forward. You slam your fist in it, it's going to look down at you, turn, and just and slam its fist directly into you, pumping you down into the ground with one of its strikes. All right, and that is actually its turn because its other strike is going to miss, and that is a magical attack. So, Xarria, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to try to get into the fray. If I stand behind where Sabina is, I can see him, right? I have line of sight.
You can just barely see him around the corner, I'll say.
Okay. Okay.
Mostly because Dorlen's small.
Perfect. I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon at a 4th level.
Okay.
And make an attack.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and make your starter attack.
Okay. Am I at disadvantage?
You are at disadvantage because you're within 10 feet of Zenada.
Zenada. Okay. I can't remember which one's which, but okay. Asha. That was not bad, actually. 21.
21 is going to be hit. Roll me damage.
Nice. It's going to be... Whoa. That was not great. It's going to be 12.
Right. 12 points of damage are going to slam into it as your spiritual feather. Oh.
Does it have blood? No.
It does not. It does not. Good one. Good one.
I tried.
People to hurt them more.
Nice.
Okay, so that's going to be 12 points of damage. Your feather is going to slam into it. That is going to be... That is how math works. And I'm going to spend the hurt them more immediately. And it's going to raise its hand again, and another rubidium dart is going to lash out and is going to strike you unerringly.
Okay. Is that just a bonus action though? I know.
Yeah, it's just I'm using it as an interrupt. No. So yeah, I'm using it as a legendary basically. But yes, so you can still take the rest of your action, but I need a charisma saving throw with just flat actually.
Yeah.
Get back here, Kaeko.
Not the other one.
I realized Kaeko would have probably actually, well, I don't know if her need to stay near her friends would overwin her battle strategy. Because I forgot, I still have my, I am currently at disadvantage on wisdom and charisma saves right now because I'm not within allies.
Slippy swap. 24.
Okay. All right. So instead, you're still just going to take the base damage from that, which is going to be 5, 8, 9, 10 points of psychic damage.
Hey.
All right. The shard is going to erase itself and take the rest of your turn. What else are you doing?
Oh, I want to try to hit it with my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, no. No. Still, I don't think 14's gonna, or 15's.
And did you roll with
gonna
disadvantage?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. Your crossbow bolt is going to sail up, almost hitting him actually, but it's going to veer off at the last second. Just barely missing.
Tried this much underwater.
All right. Top of the initiative, Kaeko.
All right, now that Keiko's invisible, I'm going to cast bonus action, spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And she's going to place it kind of on the east of Zenada's echo to breach it.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Right?
We both have our spiritual weapons up.
Oh, yeah, right. I know. I'm excited. I'm really doing it second level.
The band's getting together.
Yeah, the band is getting together. So I will make it an attack with that.
Okay.
And right now I am not at disadvantage because I'm not within 30 feet of it. Wait, no, you said the echo counts for me.
The echo will count.
Okay. So then rewinding back, Christine might have then had to take a disadvantage on a save if we're counting vice versa.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair.
Yep.
All right. So, Christine, roll me another charisma dice again. That's a fair call. That's a fair call.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get like a nat 20.
Probably.
Nope. 6.
Okay. Well, I will just have that affect you next round. All right.
So that is 17 plus 8 is a lot.
That's pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that hits, right?
Yeah.
25.
95, thank you. My brain is mush right now. A D8 plus 3, that's going to be 7 points of force damage.
Okay.
And then as my move action, Keiko's going to move forward 25 feet. Beside, and then make a sword attack at him.
All right, you're attacking with disadvantage?
Yes, I would argue if I'm invisible, would I be able to make the attack
You're gonna roll
with
flat.
advantage? Okay. Oh. Cute beans. This is why I was thinking about. Also, I just want to run past him because I was like, I don't want to bottleneck. That's corridor.
There.
Ooh, that's a 17 plus 8 again, so 25.
That's gonna hit. Roll me damage.
Sweet. D10 plus 2d6. Do you need this broken up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Wow, I rolled 2 1s on the psychic, so the psychic damage is 2.
Okay.
And then the slashing damage is 10 points.
Okay. Slashing damage is 10 points. What's your strength bonus?
My
Your ability mod?
it's +4.
4. Okay.
It is a magic sword. I don't know if that means anything.
It is a magic sword. All right, so stabbing in, it is going to pulse with the psychic energy, but the psychic energy is going to kind of emanate around Alexian the Hunter, but is not going to seem to be affected by it. The blade is still going to hack into it, though, dealing a decent amount of damage.
And then I'm going to, I have 15 feet left of movement. Kaiko's going to move about 5 feet back from the Apotheon.
Okay, the Apotheon is going to make an opportunity attack with disadvantage.
Yeah, I have mobile.
Oh, you took mobile. Then he's going to just kind of like reach his arm out to try to get you, but you're already gone by the time he does. All right. Nope. Next in the initiative, we have Dorlen. Dorlen, you're up.
All right. Dorlen is going to use his bonus action and cast Kinetic Jaunt. And then what he is going to do is he is going to shimmy through the thing's space like Xarria belly dancing, and just kind of move over to the same space as Kaiko's spiritual weapon, because, you know, rock and axe, that's a good square. And then he's gonna try and thunder fist this thing up its ruidium ass.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm guessing a 13 doesn't hit. Curse this disadvantage. And 24?
24 will probably hit. That's with disadvantage?
Right. That was with disadvantage, yep.
Okay.
So 1 miss and 1 hit for 14 thunder and disadvantage on anyone but me. And I'm done.
Okay. All right, you slam into it with 2 thunder fists. Zenada, as you begin to take the start of your turn, you are going to feel like a pulse inside of you, and look down and see the spot on the side of your collarbone that the ruidium shard hit you has begun to pulse. Gain a level of exhaustion. You are now 1 level of corruption.
Okie dokie.
And
Welcome
also,
to the club.
do you remember how much damage you took last round?
15.
Okay,
I think.
take another 15.
Ouch.
Yeah, got to be fair across the board, but it's your turn now, and oh god,
Okay.
here comes the pain. I'm hoping that I'll make it to my next turn. I don't know if I will with Zenada in the way, since she's short rested.
She slices, she dices, she even julienne's fries.
Yes. Okay. Well, I will spend my last unleash as well.
Okay.
And action surge.
Oh boy.
Is this the 8 attacks?
Yeah, from the echo's position.
Okay, so your echo is going to be a blur of motion.
Okay, that is a dirty 20,
Okay.
22,
Yep.
21,
Yep.
and 27.
Okay, those are all
On
hits.
the first 4. And a dirty 20, 24, 25, and 27.
Fighters are so broken in 5e. I love it. Everyone says they're so weak. It's not true. It's just that they only do the one thing, but they do it really well.
Okay, that's slightly better damage rolling this time.
Okay. Please divide your damage up if you're wielding away a blade that does psychic damage.
No, I'm not. I'm wielding Valus's blade.
Okay, cool. Then just give it to me as is. Yeah, get out the calculator.
I am. Definitely. 102 points of damage.
Fuck.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Okay. There is
8d8 plus the melee damage.
Sorry,
For each
can
one.
you say that again?
102 damage. And that's not
Yeah.
even max.
okay.
Triple fucking digits.
Oof.
There is a blur of motion as, enraged from your wounding, you unleash your incarnation, slashing and dashing into this ruidium golem. Hit after hit begins to take chunk after chunk of it away as you slowly hack it to nothing, reducing it to a vermilion haze.
That's amazing. I've never done triple digits damage before, I don't think.
And as you are looking at that, the golem dissipates into this cloud, hazy, vermilion powder floating in the wind. I get a perception roll off of all.
Yes. Is that
You'll
one
see
of the ones?
Kaeko suddenly
Yeah.
pop into
Well, you would have
view as
popped.
she
You would have
dropped her.
popped when you stabbed.
It was greater
greater.
Oh, was
invisibility.
it greater? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why I was gonna keep backing up and stabbing him invisibly.
Where's Kaeko? Oh, there she is.
Yeah, no,
Is
there's
it
greater
disadvantage on
invisibility.
checks? Or is it just saves?
For you have disadvantage on checks. That one, isn't it? Is that exhaustion one? or
From
two?
exhaustion.
So
Oh,
your first level of exhaustion
okay,
gives
so
you.
I'm actually rolling flat on perception then because I automatically have an advantage to perception checks due to one of my things.
Yes.
So I'm just going to roll flat then? Okay,
Yep.
cool. All right,
And then
so I have
we're rolling with
exhaustion.
disadvantage.
No, you're only if you have exhaustion.
No, but we're within 30 feet.
That's not. Those are checks, not attacks.
Oh, checks, not.
Yeah.
Well, I thought one
And
was
mine-
attacks. Oh no,
mine
it's
is
saves.
saves.
The other one's saves. Okay, that
Saves.
I
That's
knew it
what I was
not
checking
attacks.
originally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought it was. I
No,
knew
it's
it
totally
was
fine.
not attacks, but I thought it was checks, not saves.
13 for Kaeko.
I'm sorry, was that
No.
perception or investigation?
Perception.
Yeah, that's why I was checking because
25.
if Keiko's also applied disadvantage, it would have canceled out my advantage and then it gotten disadvantage from exhaustion.
Hmm.
From the multiple things stacking.
Dorlen is
24.
extra surprised that Kaeko just shows up again and got deuce.
22.
22. Okay. Zenada, what'd you get?
24.
Got the double
Okay,
deuce.
Sabina and Keiko, what'd you get?
13.
25.
25. Okay, so Keiko, you'll just appear, and Dorlen is very happy to see you, and that's going to distract you. The rest of you, take a breath,
You're back!
and as you look at the mist that was the Ruidium Golem, start to notice something. Cloud isn't dissipating. In fact, in certain places, it's getting darker as the dust begins to.
Is it
slowly-
reforming?
It's slowly reforming.
Can I try and... Oh, wait, I don't notice. Never mind. Keiko!
We should
Hi, Dorlen.
We need to go.
run.
What?
It's reforming. Let's go.
What? It's not...
Oh.
He'll be back.
Where?
The dust isn't dissipating, Dorlen. It's getting
Sorry,
thicker.
take
What if we
take an
take away some
inspiration.
dust? What, me?
Giving Xarria an inspiration for that?
What did I say? Oh, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, he'll be back. Oh, okay.
You said he'll be back.
Okay.
As the Iridium Terminator reforms, you said he'll be back. You get a point of inspiration for next session.
Okay.
See, meanwhile,
Come with
Kaeko,
Xarria if you want to live.
Keiko's like, well, what if we take some of him and he can't fully reform back?
Oh, that's a really good idea. Dolan, do you have
Golden,
like
do you have a
fast claws?
vial?
Or a
I
little
got
smaller?
a different idea.
Mm.
I take the bag of holding and I try and get it reforming into the bag of holding.
It unfortunately will not work. The haze parts
Dorlen's
around the
actually-
bag of holding.
Okay. Well, that's not going to
Oh.
work.
Alright.
Oh. But the bag of holding You just opened a bag of holding underwater and swiped it through open water. So, the bag of holding doesn't feel any heavier. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a very wet bag of holding.
Yeah.
But the cloud is going to just, it's still dissipated, and as you swipe the bag of holding through it, it's almost incorporeal.
Fair enough. We put all the gold in that bag of holding earlier, so it's been opened underwater before.
But it wasn't the opening, it was the swiping it through the water to put matter through it. So it's the mystical intent, I'm deciding.
Yep, no, I think that's fantastic.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Amazing. All right, well, I'm kind of glad that didn't work, but let's go.
Yes.
Yep. And as the ruidium statue continues to reform behind you, you head north or south?
Theo
North?
said north.
He said north.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, you head deeper into the vents of fury. But that's going to be a story for next time, because I'm going to call game here for the night. So, folks, that's going to be it for us. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Call of the Netherdeep. So I hope you enjoy that. Did you guys have a fun time this episode with all of the exposition and the ghost being like...
That was interesting. The ghost of Elixion's past.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what's going on here, and it's. I feel like we're in the magic
to see what you're all
bus.
going to do. School bus. Oh, all right, so folks, that's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Call the Netherdeep. We'll be back tomorrow night with a How to Run the Preludes and Chapter 3 of Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Hopefully you'll join us there, and you'll join us on Friday for How to Play Pathfinder 2e. In the meanwhile, if you want to watch more Dork Tales content, you can head to patreon.com/dorktales to do so. There's at least 3 or 4 additional bonus games just this month, and 5 additional games next month, or 6 that are advanced access on there, as well as year 2 of Strixhaven starts next month. So you definitely want to get on that, as well as a bunch of behind the scenes podcasts. There's always something going on the Patreon, and it's a great way to support the channel directly if you have a couple of extra bucks. I particularly need to thank my world building producers, Shulton and Soul Omen. I have to thank my demonic producer, my divine producers as well, DM Michael Gray and my mom Jan, as well as Tammy, the wizard of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric. And then I also have to thank the High Council of the Patreon, which consists of Taryn, the Traveler, Buddy, Trizelta, Amberthist, Cubby Gummy, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Drew Thompson, Sergio, Chef Aladeth, Larouk, and Sorcerer Sanguine. Whew, that is a lot of people. That's 13 members of the council. Is that a fellowship? No, fellowship.
The council reigns supreme.
All right, and folks, that's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go support the Patreon, because we're very close to having another Star Trek game. It's going to start up if we do that. But we'll talk more about that later. We'll see you next time. Stay out of the Netherdeep. Don't anger any statues, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.